homes, it's 10% contained. And a red flag warning up today for the Decker fire near Salida. Low humidity and high winds forecast. It's at about 8,500 acres. Meanwhile, the Middleman fire near Rifle has burned more than 1,000 acres. Classes canceled again today in Park County schools as the teachers' strike continues. Union and school district negotiators working through the evening yesterday. A federal mediator sat in on the talks. A school board member's vote could come during their scheduled meeting this afternoon. The union says a deal for a new contract won't come about without higher salaries. That's the latest. I'm David Kale.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Denver Museum of Nature and Science.
There's a few highway slow spots to watch out for. Southbound I-25, a little bit slow just south of 104th. Watch out for delays there. Westbound 270, a bit of a nightmare. A solid stop and go from I-70 traveling out towards Vasquez. Both directions of I-70 really heavy in the elevated portion. Never quite recovered from the late construction from this morning's commute. Northbound I-25 coming out of the tech center heavy either side of 225. 225 slow there approaching Yosemite. The weather forecast. Well, it's going to be partly sunny today. Warm, though, with a high near 81. Right now, mostly cloudy skies in the Mile High City and 66. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Pete Wagner on 630 KHOW.
The Denver Museum of Nature and Science proudly presents the Science Behind Pixar exhibition, an immersive experience that explores how Pixar Animation Studios brings their beloved films and characters to life. Visit dmns.org for more info.
Time to talk about ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. No two loans
It's
are
not
the same.
delicate.
They
You can
will
do
write
that.
that loan.
You can hold this one, but if you want me to,
this is fine.
you can hold it when
If
you
I can do
want.
that, no big deal.
Just get within a few inches of it.
I did this myself. I did not get anyone because I stand up now and then.
Because they thought he was kind of a...
I just couldn't get it. I literally could not get anyone here to fucking
loosey-goosey back then.
Cool.
But
I've done what I can. Thank you.
Hollywood fucked her up.
But you're welcome to hold it.
Well,
I bet her life was miserable.
I don't think she could take success. She's one of those people that can't take success.
We couldn't add a spring on there?
Just use it.
And she was
I'm sure you could.
Even Kennedy
You could just
fucked her,
straighten the
right?
one that's there, but have them do
They
it.
say even Bobby did. Who's
Bobby?
Oh,
Bobby
Kennedy.
Kennedy?
They both did.
I didn't know that.
Well, that's what I mean. The rumors.
Right, it's probably, hey, Kennedy's sleeping around? Get the fuck out of here. Kennedy's.
Well, why did this
Do
come
you have
up?
a stand-up desk?
Why did
When
Marilyn Monroe
you
come
talked
up?
to me on the phone,
I heard Elton
I
John
am,
singing that song on the way in.
standing.
Hey,
I didn't realize
AirPods
they
in,
found
I'm
her in
standing.
the nude.
I'm on the roof. I'm up on the roof a lot of the time. That's where I take my
Same
phone
with
calls.
Garland. If you watch that
no,
movie,
I don't have a
Judy,
standing desk
they
yet.
fucking
I may
treated
be
her like
getting
shit.
one,
They
but I
treated
don't
women like
spend a lot
shit
of time
back
They
at
did.
the computer.
You know what? I think that was just
That's-
the culture.
That was the deal. Women were just second class.
Do you remember what
Shit.
that movie,
I am way out of time.
Mad Men?
No, what was that one?
Mad Men?
Mad Men? It's
A movie?
No, series.
I never watched it.
That's good.
Troubleshooter.
You like the old school? Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show.
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. What is going on in your life and how can I help you? All you have to do is call for help, any kind of help. Listen, if it's the kind of help you think, well, they're never going to help with that. Yeah, we probably will. All you have to do is prove it to yourself by calling. 303-713-TALK. We'll either know what to do or know where to send you. Today, every once in a while, I don't do it often, but every once in a while, I have some really important, side topics that weave throughout the show. Sometimes we have just a few questions. Sometimes we have a lot. This has to do with estate planning or wills or probate or trusts. If you have any questions, we had somebody drop by to say hi, and we are here to help you. So give us a call, 303-713-TALK. We'll also take, of course, any and all calls, 303-713-8255. But so many people have questions on wills and trusts and probate and revocable trusts and irrevocable trust, and also different kinds of weird trusts, or what about a beneficiary's deed, or different things like that. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk to Vince. Vince, what's happening with you? What's going on? Are you there, Vince?
Oh, yes, sir.
What's happening?
Well, I had my oil changed on the 23rd,
Yes.
and at Firestone, and I had some tire changes and stuff, and they said my left front tie rod was going out, and I would hear a tapping sound eventually. And so when that tapping sound started, I chalked it up to the front end, and it turns out it was no oil in the engine.
So hold on. How long after did you leave this garage, this service station, or what is it, Firestone? They said it's probably your front end, and it was really the engine. How long after did you discover it was the engine?
Well, just actually yesterday.
No, that doesn't mean anything to me yesterday. I need to know how long after the visit to that garage.
It was 3 weeks before I got it into a mechanic.
Okay, so what happened when you took it into the mechanic? What did they say is wrong with it?
Okay, I was under the impression it was a transmission problem.
I thought you just said it was a front end problem.
Well, it was, but as things progressed with it, I thought it was a transmission. So I took it into the transmission shop, and they checked it out, and they said there was not a drop of oil in the engine.
Okay. Okay. Do you believe that 3 weeks ago, Firestone did what to you? What? I know
said an oil change.
Are you saying they did not fill it with oil?
Yeah, I believe they probably got distracted or something and didn't fill it completely, but there's no oil spots on my driveway. There's no oil in the engine compartment.
Let's say they didn't fill it. It wouldn't. I don't think it would have lasted 3 weeks. How many miles on it?
140.
No, I'm sorry. How many did you put on it since that oil change?
Let's see, about 40. Probably 300-400 at least.
Wait, so you drove 300 or 400 miles since the Firestone visit?
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's no way you would have gone with no oil.
I missed it. Did it seize up or no?
Is it?
Well, no, it is now, but it was just a slow tapping sound. I guess it was like a lifter's, and I mistook that for the front end.
I understand that. And did you say that Firestone, do you have a written diagnosis from Firestone saying you have a front end problem?
I think so. I'm sure they wrote it down on the yeah, he did, because he quoted me as $350, something like that.
Okay.
How about your oil light? Did the oil light come on?
No, that never came on.
Well,
I wonder if he burned that oil off.
Listen, I just don't believe that Firestone could have done anything back then that would have lasted 300 or 400 miles and made your engine seize without an oil light or anything. I have to tell you, man, Vince, this does. I mean, if you're trying to make a connection for 300 or 400 miles prior, 3 or 4 weeks prior. Or I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to say they ruined your engine, and.
Well, I'm just not sure exactly what. I mean, how did I lose 7 quarts of oil with it not showing anywhere?
Well, Vince, first of all, you didn't, or you did. I don't know, but your oil light didn't come on. What's wrong with that? I mean, what I'm saying is you have a certain obligation not to seize your engine. Okay? No matter what they said they thought that was, there's a certain obligation. For example, if you saw an oil light, and you're going to say there was no oil light. So I don't know what to tell you. Is your oil light working? And you said, do you have 140,000 miles on this car?
Yes.
What kind of car is it?
It's a 05 Trailblazer.
05 Trailblazer. Okay. So we have a 14-year-old Trailblazer. Now 15 years old. 15-year-old Trailblazer with 140,000 miles. So now we have to ask, let's say your engine, how long would it have gone?
Well, yeah, I mean, with no oil,
No, Vince, here's what I'm trying to say. Let's say you could prove, with a preponderance of evidence, you could prove that Firestone ruined that engine. What did they ruin? They didn't ruin a new engine. They ruined an engine that was 14 years old with 140,000 miles on it. So let's say you go through the trouble of proving they somehow are 100% liable for that engine, which, by the way, I don't think you could ever prove. But let's say you do. How much would they owe you? What do you think?
Yeah, that's, I would think a partial new engine.
That's right. That's right. They would owe you an engine with 140,000 miles on it.
Right.
But here's the deal. Can you prove they did anything wrong?
No, I can't.
But I would sure as hell ask them, where did my 7 quarts of oil go?
Right. I did talk to the manager over there yesterday.
And what did he say?
He just kept going, it would have seized, it would have seized.
Well, it would have. I mean, he's kind of telling the truth. It would have, would have, would have.
Right, but he had no answer for where my oil went. I mean,
God, I don't know what to say, but so by default, Mark, are they guilty by default?
I don't think so.
You know, we got Blake here today. He's an attorney. Of course, he does estates and wills and all that. But I want to ask him because, you know, you go to law school, you always have these discussions in class, and they come up. So you can't prove they did anything, but it's a big coincidence. He had his oil changed. He lost 7 quarts of oil. There's no evidence of it. So by default, it's their fault. Yes or no? How do you think about that? You got to stand up to your... What do you think, Blake?
I think you're going to have to prove your case. I don't think it's going to be a very easy case to prove.
You can't just say because there's no other way. It has to be them, right?
Right. I understand you have that logical conclusion, but you're going to have to be able to convince a judge this and have some documentation is how you do that.
And I don't know how you do that either, Vince. So they won't do anything for you, right? Okay. He might have hung up, but anyway, Panacea, the CBD products that work. And I mean they really work. And you can order them at this website. They help for pain. They help for sleep. They help for anxiety. HelpMyPainCBD.com.
Coverage offerings and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions.
If you run a small business, every penny counts. So saving up to 30% on your workers' comp insurance is a big deal. That's why you need a workers' comp rate check from Pi Insurance, now available for small business owners in your area. Workers' comp insurance rates can vary, and yours may have changed since you got your current policy. That's why Pi Insurance invites you to get a quick online quote right from your computer or smartphone. Simply go to piinsurance.com and you'll know in just minutes if you're overpaying. Pi Insurance was built a better way to make workers' comp a no-brainer with an easy online experience and outstanding service. Pi's coverage is A-rated by AM Best and helps protect your business and your employees. Plus, it could save you up to 30%. Do yourself a favor. Find out if your small business is overpaying for workers' comp insurance. Check your rate today and see how much you can save at piinsurance.com. That's PIE Insurance.com.
If you're in trouble and you need a criminal defense attorney, and I hope you never do, Joseph A. Lazara is on my referral list at referralist.com. He does flat rate pricing, which means you don't have to worry about every phone call, every nickel and dime. Here's what it is. If you are dumb enough to drink and drive, or maybe you're falsely accused, whatever it is, he's not going to preach to you. DUIs, he handles DUIs. We've had people call this show that were accused of shoplifting because they were returning merchandise or something. Or neighbor versus neighbor, and somebody calls and says, you assaulted me. You think, what the hell, I'll never need a defense attorney. You never know. When life doesn't go perfectly, you have Joseph Lazara. He's on my referral list, and you can reach him directly at 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. His website is lazaralegal.com. That's 2 Z's and 1 R. lazaralegal.com. 303-429-6200.
How can you make as much as $1,000?
Anyway, they have the capability, like...
Hi, Blake Gaffney. Nice to meet you. You've been on their air every day this week.
I think I have.
Yeah, you have.
Hey, that's
I love it.
the best.
Yep, I know.
Come on.
We get a lot of questions. Probate is one of the most least understood things ever. You say the word, people have heard it, but they have no...
He has been out of town.
And I think it's going to be strong in this.
Yeah. And you know, we have family we have a family trust with my dad. We've had,
So, do you want me to call him and
just
check
on
it?
trust to keep everything going or whatever. It became more and more popular for us to tear up everything, the business.
I can't. Oh, well, yes, I did.
You're in a good place.
Call Gary and Greg and just say,
Anyway, they were able to run into the closing.
What were they talking about on the credit
And our
card?
notary said,
They want to
notarize them.
update the other stuff
Run
to
to the
this
courthouse, have a judge sign them, record the stuff, and get back in 2 hours. And resolve the probate in 2 hours.
That is
Did
why.
good. Did good, Dap.
Yeah, but
That's wonderful.
it's such a common problem.
You get paid on the endorsements.
$100. Come on.
Good.
Oh, you're actually going to fix it.
Sorry.
I don't know, what do you think, Mark, what do you think of this fence thing?
What are you talking about?
Let's let him try to deal with it, and then we'll have him back on.
Okay, let's do that. Okay. This is that one fence that was crooked and everything.
I'm afraid Tom
Did they go out and fix it?
No, but Brian says that they want to, so we got one of our guys from the
Yeah.
He's gonna come on today as the owner. And, I guess Ryan, because I left a message to the owner to try to get him to call him. He said he's been out of town.
That'd be kind of fun.
Oh, you know what? We're not allowed to taste it on the air.
Take care of it.
He wants
We can't taste
fix
it
it
and talk
or,
about it.
and these guys, what they say.
I went out to the art.
So they don't want to let him fix it.
No, that's all it takes is tightening though.
I'm not going to do anything before. He said, I'm not going to do anything.
I remember him saying he was going to fix it.
There's nothing to
Tom, it's been interesting talking to some of your fans, talking to some of your followers, and hearing the loyalty that they have to you. It's pretty cool.
Where we left this off was she was going to give him an opportunity to fix it.
That's a good question.
Right.
I don't remember.
So did she or didn't she?
Well, he never went out or never said he was going to do it. He told her at the end that he was.
Yeah, but he told us he was going to go out and fix it.
Well, he's never called her.
So let's just have her back on. I mean,
so should we wait till Ryan is back because he's out of town, or do we get everybody on? So I've been out there. Colorado or American Fence has been out there, and basically material.
we got to find another fence
Should we
company
just
too.
go ahead and have the first
I
two
just
on
think-
and not
Thank you
Ryan?
guys.
You want to have the first two on and not Ryan?
I think so. I think so.
And now we know how to fix
Mark's
them.
not available.
Yeah.
Now we know how to fix
He
them.
wants to try to fix it. Do you want to wait to have him?
Just tighten it.
I've been meaning to do that 16 times.
Yeah, let's put him under the
He may
bus.
not want to fix it after you tell him.
Just simply tighten the screws.
Let's put him under the bus. No, call those people and just say that we'll get. Does Ryan say when?
No, but we'll swing back around
Okay.
next week. I'll just tell
Okay.
everybody you're going to call him on Monday,
I won't be back till Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I don't want to get into it.
You know, I was walking through the mall last night, looking at my reflection in the window. I realized I limp when I walked.
You limp?
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out why I'm limping. And you know, I
From
had
your
that.
foot.
It was because I got in a habit.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
All right. We got a lot to talk about here. And we have some emails on estate planning I'll get to. If you have any questions on estates or wills or beneficiary deeds, you know, I think a lot of people misunderstand the house thing. They want to leave the house to the kids. A lot of them make a big mistake by doing a quitclaim deed while they're alive. And we're going to tell you why that can sting you. Hey, Shay, what's happening?
Hey, Tom. Thanks for taking my call. In January of this year, I purchased a used Ford Explorer Limited. And at the time of purchase, I was given an auto check report with no discrepancies from Interstate Ford in Dacono.
Now, you were given an auto check, and that's kind of like a copycat Carfax, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And go ahead.
So this was the second car that I bought from this dealership and paid cash for it.
Okay.
And I had some problems during the summertime with this vehicle, which caused a lot of headaches and frustration. And then last month, my engine seized. So I had it towed to the dealership, and I was quoted $8,200 for a new engine. And then I was also given a $3,000 trade-in value.
Okay, how much did you pay for it?
I paid $16,800 cash.
16,800.
Yes.
Okay. And what kind is it?
It's a Ford Explorer Limited.
Okay. Now, let's get right to it. The year of that is what?
2011.
Okay. This engine seizing, I think you're going to tell me because you emailed us that they lied about the mileage or they didn't know.
There was a mileage discrepancy in the Carfax report.
What do you mean, so what, Mark?
Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like some shop that did like an oil change just popped in the wrong mileage. I mean, everybody reports to Carfax. It doesn't mean the mileage was actually wrong.
No, from then on, Mark,
it was.
changed.
From then on, it now added to that one. So that it was a rollback, because if you look at it, if it was simply done wrong, the subsequent people would put down the right mileage, or at least one of them would.
Definitely a rollback.
You had all of a sudden the mileage went back. It went back. But here's the problem, okay? It did not go back with Interstate where you bought it. It went back before that. So you could argue Interstate is a victim too. However, you may also argue, well, they're the professional, they're licensed, I should have been advised. And why didn't they know? They were stupid for not knowing. I mean, they were stupid for not knowing. Shouldn't they be checking out a vehicle they buy? And they're going to say, hell no. You know, we relied on Auto Tech. We don't have to buy Carfax. No one says we have to do Carfax. For all we know, they could have done Carfax and decided to go with the other one that didn't show it. Or they didn't really know about it. See, that's the problem. You know, Shay, if they really didn't know about it, we're going to have a hard time because they didn't know about it. I mean, they're going to say, well, we sold you a car in good faith. Now, they should be able to give your money back or help you. Are they going to do anything for you?
So that's the thing. They declined to give me my money back. And
how long did you have the car?
I had the car since January, and this happened last month.
So you did get some use out of it.
Right, but I paid $16,000 for it.
But hold on. I understand that. You did get some use out of it, so would they be willing to give you anything?
So they're willing to give me an Explorer, but I would still have to pay more money for that Explorer.
Well, but is it a better okay, let's analyze it. How much more do you have to pay?
They're okay, so they offered me a vehicle for $4,000 more.
Okay, what kind of vehicle?
Well, it's an Explorer, but
what year?
Previous owner smoked in it.
What year is it?
I think it was a...
Smoke odor can be removed, by the way, no matter what you say, but it can be. So what year is it?
Okay.
I'm not trying to talk you into it, Shay. I'm really not. I'm trying to analyze this, because here's the deal. If they're saying, look, you got some use out of this car, plus we're going to give you another one and it's better, and $4,000, if it's not a ripoff, that could be a good deal. It could be a bad deal. What is the new car? What is it?
Well, I think it's a 2015.
And how many miles?
55,000.
Now, so they're saying, hold on now. If you take 16,800, that's what we have to do, plus 4,000. That's the math we have to do to analyze this, right? Now we're talking about $20,800. Now you have to ask yourself, is that $215 under normal retail worth $20,800? Or is it worth more? So let's look it up. Look up a 2015 with 4,000 miles on it. Excuse me, I'm sorry, with 55,000 miles on it. Are you looking it up, guys? Let's look it up and let's analyze it. But I think we have to analyze it. Then they should give. Then I think they should give you something by way of a discount. But that might be a good deal. It may not be. I mean, they might. You know, for all we know. Listen, if I know dealers, they're not taking any money out of pocket for this. So, Dan, you looking that up? No, he's on. Okay, the computer's really slow. So we'll look it up.
Can I say something, Tom?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I have not talked to this dealership for a couple of weeks now, and I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to get any resolution.
Well, we're going to call the dealer for you. Clint, call the dealer, and we can remind them that, did you go to the dealer licensing board, Shay?
I filed a complaint with the state of Colorado, but I have not yet gone to the board. And
well, you have to go to the dealer. What do you mean the state of Colorado? There is no place to complain with the state of Colorado. Where?
There's an automotive division, and it's a criminal investigator that's through the state of Colorado.
Yeah, I doubt that. You can't call this a crime. From all we can go back in its pedigree, we can see that they didn't turn it back.
Correct. They didn't, but I also have an odometer disclosure statement that says, they even checked it off, and they said the odometer reading is the actual mileage of the vehicle.
No, I know that.
That could be an issue.
That's what the dealer licensing board is for. That's not a crime. If they can say we really thought it was. Shay,
okay.
Listen, if you want to call them criminals, go ahead. I see no evidence of that. They could be. They could have known it and hidden it from you. Yeah, they could have. I don't know. But I know it's harder to prove they're criminals than it is to say they were negligent. That's a lot easier to say.
Right. And here's the thing, Tom. I do not want to say that they're criminals. I really want to resolve this.
All right, we're going to call them. I understand that. We're going to call them.
It's worth about 12 to 13.5.
What is?
The 15 with 55,000.
So they want her to pay. They want her to with 55,000.
Yeah, with 55,000.
Because they want her to pay 20,800 in essence. Even if you took off 800.
And I went with the base model, so
Yeah, but no matter what, it's not worth $20,800.
Value is in the eye of the beholder.
Listen, we got to call Interstate Ford. This does not sound good to me. Interstate Ford. I'm writing it down. Clint. They have a clear discrepancy here. Shay, do not waste time. Put in a complaint with the dealer licensing board immediately. We'll call them.
This is Denver's Top.
Did you ever get, it was the super nice one.
Can you beneficiaries?
She got?
Yeah.
Avoid the term beneficiary.
It was, she kept saying the XLT or whatever,
So she probably paid over.
Oh, yeah.
Of course she did. She probably paid too much for that.
What's 15 worth?
I gotta go, 15 is what, how much did you say? I was doing 2011.
I did them, but I can't ignore something.
Hers, that she's buying is a nice one.
I will say, I won't do it in your commercial. Exactly. Okay. I won't say, and he does this and this.
So when she buys it?
I drop those other things.
I do it. I discuss it. I answer questions about it, but don't use it in my commercial.
No.
Okay,
that's
all
for
right,
sure.
all right, sounds
If
good.
you don't want it, we're not going to use it.
Gotcha.
But for sure, though, if we're on the show and stuff, and I get an email about it, we need to talk.
Sure, absolutely. A term that I want you to use with my name: revocable living trust.
Blue Emu. After 10 gold gloves, I know what I'm going to catch. Blue Emu has supported my healthy muscles and joints for over 15 years. Blue Emu works fast. Won't stink. Available.
So what she paid for the high end of that.
Fix It 24/7. That's right, Fix It 24/7. A company I know and trust, I use in my home. Now they'll come out to your home and they will check out any problem, give you a diagnosis and an estimate for just $39. If you decide to have the work done, then they credit you the $39 for a free call charge. But if you don't want it done, you want to shop around, feel free. It's $39, but they do claim that they know enough, and I know they do, to be accurate when it comes to that diagnosis. The other thing is this: they give free second opinions for any major repair. And I love free second opinions, whether you get them from Fix It or not, but they will give you a free one, and I do trust them. And you will know firsthand, look, if they can do it cheaper, do it cheaper. If they can do it better, do it better. But when people give you a second opinion, they have to put up or shut up. I love FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939, the $39 service call to find any problem, or you can simply get a free second opinion, 720-526-3939.
Hey, babe. With Miles and his health.
Very good.
I'm just gonna his enrollment is due again. I'm just enrolling him in the cheapest, basically what he had. It's a little different because it's, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think they're going to be that far off, Dan.
20,000, you're right. I believe it's going to probably be 20,000.
Now listen, did you get a hold of Brian for that?
I texted Brian and George asking, do one of you guys want to come on? If not, Tom will handle. I have not heard back yet.
So if they're doing for 20,000, it's probably under.
So Blake,
it's under.
I took out the other trust she didn't want and all that other stuff. So
Okay, she's okay.
This is
And they're giving her something. But is that with trade-in?
She has to go 4,000 to get this 15 with low mileage. But that's not.
What do you mean she's got to go 4,000?
Probate and avoiding probate.
And then add the word
Paying 4,000 more than what she paid for the other one, so she's paying 20. She paid 16 for the first one.
If you can, incorporate it.
She only has to pay 4,000 more?
Yes.
Oh, this is great.
No, she's got a good deal here if they'll do it.
If they'll do it, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
Mark, you
for
did
this first
you
week,
get it right.
Or for the next 2 weeks,
worth 21
I think we're just
to
focusing
24.
on revocable living trust estate planning. Don't even talk about
What's the difference here? 2015 Ford Explorer, sport utility, four-wheel drive.
Unlimited.
I understand. Okay.
I got you. Private party value.
But
dealer, actually.
But pulling from working with David for years.
No, you didn't put in. It's
I think the low-hanging fruit.
I said that.
Okay. I want to hear this.
Because people don't know what they want. So they may call you for a will, and you may want to concentrate on a trust, but they'll never call you because I only talk about trust.
Gotcha.
So if I talk about wills, trust, probate, blah, 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 they call you about a will. And then you talk them into a trust because that's what they really need. You've just gotten a lead you wouldn't have gotten if I only say trust.
Got it. Like
okay?
it. Okay.
So really, when you talk about, even beneficiary deeds, they're a pain in the ass. They're a few $100. You can say, you know what, you can do it yourself. Go do this. But that person may need a will. Hey, why would you do a beneficiary deed when you have bank accounts, this, and this? So I don't know if you know about, I know you know about upselling, and you get a lead that thinks they need something.
Sure.
But they give them something else. So when people tell me, don't concentrate on that low shit, I don't want those calls, I say to you, why the hell don't you want those calls? Because those calls are potentially police calls. Right? That's why I think. But I know what I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to weed it out before they get to you. That's not what you're trying to do.
I understand.
I'd be curious when we play that back if it actually stops.
I always give the free restroom analogy. Some goddamn shop said, why should I let non-customers use restroom? I said, you asshole. What do you spend? What is your cost per person walking in that door? Okay, guess what? You get the person walking in the door. I have a sign outside saying free restrooms. I swear to God, let them fucking in your store. You pay to advertise, to get people in your store. Up in Estes Park, they would pay loads of money as a Chamber of Commerce to get people up there. And there'd be signs, no restrooms. And I'd say, just the opposite. Get fucking free restrooms. You want as many people in the door as possible. When you do your commercial, you don't say, come to my store only if you're going to buy.
Right.
I want everybody.
Free consultation, free parking downtown.
Yeah, what?
Well, no, you can mention that in the commercial. I think that might be.
There is free parking.
Now there is. I changed my mind. Your clientele seems to want that, and I'm gonna provide a good client experience. So free parking downtown, right by Union Station. I've been there for a while. And also, I mentioned to Hiram, I have 44 Google reviews. They're all 5 stars. Okay, you got that one. I don't know if you like that and if you think that's good material or not.
Yeah, it does seem to help soften the core.
People are going to find that on their own, but that's good.
All right, Dan.
Yeah.
The 2015 is an XLT. It's not limited. The 2011 was limited.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. You don't get better. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. The reason we love Frank? Never a complaint. People say, don't say that. You're jinxing it. Can't do it. Frank is just too good. If you're going to list a home, you got to call him. If you want to shop around, at least call him. And I guarantee you'll use him. 303-920-1622. Now, this Firestone thing. Did they leave the oil out? Did you call Firestone? Did we call Firestone? I don't know why he's back. But Vince, here's what we said. If you can't prove that Firestone did this damage,
And if you can't prove, you're all I didn't go out and all that. Here's what I would do. I would simply go to them and say,
Okay.
what will you do for me? Did you ask him?
No, actually, I did not yesterday. He was.
Well, you got to do that. You got to tell him, and then let's take it from there. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You had 3 weeks and 300 miles, and I don't know how you say they seized your engine after all that, especially an engine with 140,000. But I'm not saying I don't agree. I don't think it's more than a coincidence. It could be they put just a little oil in, not enough oil. I don't think there's any way you could have lost 7 quarts. My hunch is they didn't put enough oil in it, or they got distracted.
Right. That's exactly what I was thinking. So.
But you got to approach them first, at least, with logic and see what they say. Bill's got a comment on this Firestone deal. What's your comment, Bill?
Actually, this is Scott. I was going to talk to you about something else.
Oh, I'm sorry, Scott. Can you hold 1 sec? I want to take a comment from Bill. Go ahead, Bill. What's happening?
Playing devil's advocate
Yeah.
here. Okay, probably almost all cars are running on synthetic. Remember when they first came out with synthetic oil at the Home and Garden show? They used to drain the oil out of the engines and run them dry because the synthetic would impregnate the metal.
Yeah, listen. I actually did a demonstration one time with this stuff called CLM, where we treated the car with CLM, drained the engine or drained the oil, and drove the car at Pikes Peak. But I just assumed that this isn't going to have some super duper, I don't know. I guess.
I'm just saying,
But I guess you could argue that if there was some kind of synthetic in there and you ran it dry, it's still going to run a while. I understand what you're saying, Bill. But you would have some indications. You'd have rising oil temp, lower pressure. You'd have a light. You'd have some indication. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, we have an email here for Blake Harris, milehighestatePlanning.com. Blake, this person, I think, is mistaken. They want to do a beneficiary's deed. Well, actually, they want to do a quitclaim deed, which is wrong. If you want to do it, do a beneficiary's deed. But normally, don't you find when people want to do a beneficiary's deed, they're trying to, to me, it just signifies half-assed to me. You know what I'm saying by that? First of all, the reason they don't do a quitclaim deed, if you do a quitclaim deed, that person will inherit your basis of that property. You probably bought that property cheaper than it's worth today or cheaper than it's going to be worth when you die. If you let them inherit it in any form, then they get the basis on the day that you die. Now, why would you want your heir to have a higher basis? Well, if they're going to sell it, it's going to mean less profit for them, so less taxes. And that's the only reason, okay? That's the only reason. But now, let's say you want to leave a home. To me, as I said, beneficiary's deed denote to me someone trying to take the cheap way out.
A beneficiary deed is not necessarily a bad way to do it, but you'd miss the opportunity to protect that asset for the next generation, which you'd get if you set up a quitclaim deed and transfer that into a revocable trust, or use a beneficiary deed in conjunction with a trust. That way, you can, yes, avoid probate, but you can also make sure that the next generation doesn't lose any of their property because later they get sued or divorced.
Okay. Then what about just good old-fashioned will?
A will is a ticket to the probate court. There's a common misconception that a will avoids probate. No, a will is a ticket to the probate court.
Okay, so it's a ticket, but it's also instructions, right?
It is instructions, and with a will you can still name a guardian for your minor children, and you can select who's going to receive your property. But
it doesn't protect your property.
But it does not protect your property, and it does mean that your property is going to go through probate.
And if property goes through probate, it's subject to creditors at that time. If a creditor comes forward and says, before that person died, they owed me this much money, then all of the probate has to be, they have to pay out debts, don't they?
Yes, before you can distribute any money through a probate estate, you have to pay out your debts. And this is a very important...
So even with a will, you have to pay it out.
Yes, with your will, you have to pay out the debts. Now, you don't necessarily have to pay the debts in full. You can often negotiate or work with an attorney who can negotiate a settlement for the debts that a family member had when they passed away. But those debts do have to be settled before you can distribute any property to a beneficiary.
So that's why you do a trust, because it doesn't even go to probate.
A trust does not go to probate. However, with a trust, you still have to settle debts. You still have to settle debts.
So, okay.
But you don't have to go through the probate court.
Okay, really, though, if I die with a trust, my beneficiaries, they have to still pay estate bills?
If it is a revocable trust, yes. If you can control it, like you can with a revocable trust, then you do have to settle your debts. Now, if you set up an irrevocable trust before you pass away, then that could avoid your creditors, and that could avoid your creditors during life as well as after you pass away.
People are afraid of irrevocable trusts.
People are hesitant about irrevocable trust.
Why do you think? There's a lot of people that say, I don't want to do that if I can never change it.
There's a lot of misinformation about irrevocable trust. The number one is that you can't change it as circumstances changes. There's limitations on where you can change it, but there's still a lot of flexibility you can build into an irrevocable trust, such as who the trustee is, who's managing the property, what assets are put into the trust, and what assets you take out of a trust. And
can you draw up the earnings of it if it's earning interest, or if it?
Certainly, if it's depending on how it's structured and the terms of the distributions, you can certainly access money inside of an irrevocable trust. There'd be nobody creating an irrevocable trust if you couldn't get the money inside of it.
Okay. Hey, listen, if you have any questions, give us a call. We have a lot more to talk about. Let me go. Betty, what did you want to say? Go ahead, Betty.
Hi, I'm calling about I listened to you on podcast, so I'm calling about the call about Centennial Peaks a few days ago.
Right. That the woman said that they were not treating people. Was that the one that
was a husband that called in?
He said that the wife was denied drugs. She cold turkeyed over 48 hours before they got her back on her antidepressants.
Correct. And I'm a psychiatric nurse. I've actually worked at Centennial Peaks, not for a while, and I've also worked at Porter Hospital as a psychiatric nurse. I just wanted to let you guys know that there's a method to the madness. Usually psychiatrists will take people off psychiatric meds to get a baseline of their psychiatric illness before they give them psychiatric meds.
But can that be dangerous? Can that be dangerous?
Not really. Because they're obviously in the hospital because their current psychiatric meds are not working.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It is more dangerous for them to be suicidal taking their psychiatric meds.
I see what you're saying. If they're already suicidal, then you may assume maybe some of those meds are not working right.
Correct.
What do you do? Are you in mental health?
I am.
What are you? What do you do?
I'm a registered nurse. I work in behavioral health. Currently, I see patients in their home with mental health issues.
I understand, Shay. My sister does the same. I think they call them psychiatric nurses or something. They specialize kind of in that stuff. Cool. Thank you. Appreciate the information. That makes a lot of sense. Scott, what's happening, Scott?
Mr. Martino, thank you for taking my call, sir.
What's
I got a question I'm hoping that you can help me out with. So my brother and I, we both own a trucking company here in the Springs, and we do a lot of dirt work and stuff like that. And an attorney, a certain attorney, has really just painted a target on our backs. I mean, you know, if you've got a
wait, an attorney painted a target on your back. What do you mean?
Pretty much. So his TV ads basically single us out because everybody
single
knows
you out or people like you?
No, our business, the trucking industry.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Are you talking about Frank Azar?
The one and only.
The strong arm, right? Okay. Hold on a second. No, hold on. We'll come back and talk about it.
Why?
Does Crank work with you?
I think it's because
no.
Slow.
Wouldn't matter. We still take the call.
Oh yeah, I mean, I figured.
Yeah, but no, he doesn't. You know, I don't really get a lot of complaints about him. Do we get a lot of complaints about Azar?
I can't think of one.
No.
You're confused? You need help?
No.
Oh, I thought you said you're confused.
So as I'm reading this, I'm confused. YT feed.
You didn't realize how much we
what's
use
YT
you, did
feed
you?
is on?
I told you we get a shitload of calls.
YT
like since you signed up, even before you signed up, we had you on. I mean, I swear to God, we get calls so much.
Yeah, I'm excited about this, and I think I think it's just going to be growing. It's baby boomers aren't getting any younger.
SimplyFloorsInc.com. Mark and I ran into who? Buddy and Karen, and they are slamming it out of the park when it comes to floor covering. Simply Floors Inc. Now, Buddy and his lovely wife, they decided they want to make less profit and provide savings to consumers, but still make a good living. Hey, they're not getting poor. And here's the bottom line. 24-month financing, extra discounts from Shaw, plus 5% discount on top of their their savings already. Because already, just normally, you get 20%, 30%, 40%, in some cases 50% off. Now you get an extra 5%. The holiday rush is on, and that's SimplyFloorsInc.com to make your own appointment. Hey, how much time do I have? Okay, Mark,
we recommend giving them this. Delicious and nutritious American Canidae, 2 of the latest arrivals to PetSmart's selection of natural pet foods. Give your pets kibble, wet food, and treats from American Canidae. You want it? We got it. We're PetSmart. Save up to $2 on American Canidae dry food, in-store only while supplies last. See store for details.
Anyone want to face a DUI? But somehow it happened. Now you must deal with it. And you better do it by the book, and you better get help. You need the law offices of Joseph A. Lazzara, 303-429-6200. Free initial consultations, 303-429-6200. You're going to face a trying time. Get someone to protect your rights. Joseph A. Lazzara, 303-429-6200.
When it comes to keeping your small business's valuable information safe, Dell Small Business Technology Advisors can recommend tailored security solutions like servers, storage, networking. Plus, right now, get up to 45% off select business computers with Intel Core processors. Running your own small business is a big challenge, but with the right partner, it's a lot easier. To speak with an advisor today, call 877-BUY-DELL. That's 877-BUY-DELL.
When you need help with clogged drains and backups, you need it fast. No one responds faster to your disaster than Plumbline Plumbing. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, and I insist on value and honesty. Plumbline delivers every time. That's why I've been recommending them more than 17 years. They'll clear your drain for just $93 or the call is free. So take care of that nagging clog before it gets worse. Get to the root of the problem. $93 or free. For plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, turn to the experts you trust. Plumbline.
You live your life like a candle in the wind. I did not know they found her nude, dude. Nude, dude. You know what Dan can do, though, besides run all of our cameras? He has got a talent that'll actually make your hair curl.
Whoa, till later.
You ready? I'm not kidding, man. You know, have you ever met someone with this strange talent? He can tell you where you got your shoes.
I'm not strange.
Well, I find it strange.
You can tell me where I got my shoes?
Usually. Let me see.
I wasn't wearing shoes a second ago, but here we go.
Yeah, he can tell you where you got your shoes, as odd as that is.
Where to get them?
Sometimes he's done it with socks, which really blew me away.
It shouldn't be that hard.
What?
Bet him lunch.
Go ahead and put them back on.
I have to put them on for you to see? For you to be able to tell where they're from?
You see how you walk with them.
I mean,
okay. You got your shoes on your feet.
Oh, sucker!
There we go. There we go. They weren't even on my feet at first.
That's why I had to get you back on.
I know. He kind of screwed with you by taking them off. Damn it! You got your shoe in your hand.
I will use that one on my kids.
Give me a heads up when we're coming back.
On your kids?
Yes. They love those jokes.
Yeah. So they do that down in New Orleans. I was down there 30 years ago. 30 more.
They follow them, or, they do it for like $5 or whatever. Then they follow you around.
Back then, I was just a kid, but now I've heard of people following them in the restaurant, making sure that they pay for like $20 or so.
Are they working over your soul of your shoes?
They were.
He kind of screwed with Dan. He took his shoe off for a minute,
yeah.
and it wasn't on his foot.
Make sure he put it back on.
Loafers come off.
You would have to see.
Damn it! One's in your hand. You got one in your hand and one on your foot.
Yeah, I was looking through the window in there. You can even tell it from the other side what
got
you
the
guys
shoes.
are doing.
The shoes.
Yes. God, it never.
It's an initiation. We've got an initiation process.
I understand, but I am a believer in karma. I've been known to, around my office, stick plastic cockroaches into files and hand them out to employees.
Okay. Little jokes. As long as no one gets mad, I hope.
What
you got a good office?
if you're a Hindu and you believe in karma?
All right, guys. All right, 303-713-8255. We do have a line or two open, I think. I'm stretching to see if there is. There is one. 303-713-8255. We've got 3 hours to go. Hey, really quick. What is the biggest thing, Blake Harris, Mile High Estate Planning? The number one people in their 20s, should they get a will or wait? I mean, honest to God, I bet most people in their 20s don't have a will, even if they have kids. Would you say that's correct, or I'm crazy?
2/3 of people have not done anything to create their estate.
2/3?
And that percentage is even higher among younger individuals. The question I get is, at what point should I create an estate plan? What level of assets? It's not necessarily a level of assets. It's when you have beneficiaries, people who depend on you. So even a young family who just had a child may want to nominate a guardian so that they can select which family member would step in and raise the child.
What happens if they don't have a will and someone croaks? What happens to the kid? Honestly, does it go to next of kin if they want it? What happens if there's multiple next of kin that all want the kid?
Exactly. Then these are some of the worst fought court battles over children when there's no clear direction of who's going to step in as the guardian or who the parents want as the guardian.
How about if there's no will, there's multiple children, and they're adult children, and both parents pass away? Do they simply fight in court over the assets, or is it simply because they're both siblings, they just split it down the middle generally in Colorado?
You are correct. The default intestacy laws would take over when there's no will in place, there's no trust in place. Then the default intestacy laws would say that everything goes to the surviving spouse. If there's no surviving spouse, this is assuming that neither of these spouses have any children outside of the marriage. So for non-blended families, the default intestacy laws do a pretty good job, and then they would divide the money equally among the surviving children.
How about if your will says I'm going to leave everything to my spouse, you end up getting divorced and you have a new spouse? Can you actually say your spouse, in other words, or do you have to name the spouse?
So actually, I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday on the show, and what I was referring to yesterday is a spousal access trust. That's going to get confusing with what you're talking about with a will. With a will, if you don't update it, then the court will on its own update it and assumes that if you did not want to still be married to a person, you did not want to still leave the money in your estate. However, I wouldn't recommend relying on that alone. If you do get a divorce, I do recommend updating your estate plan.
How much does it cost to update an estate plan, just generally speaking?
Sure.
People always want to hear numbers, man.
Sure. No problem. I'm happy to talk numbers. If you're looking for a basic will-based estate plan with all the incapacity documents, it's probably going to cost you a couple $100.
That's it?
If you're going to look for more of a trust-based plan, it's going to cost you a couple $1,000.
Yeah, but a simple will for some people in their 20s that have kids, they're only looking at a few $100.
It's maybe $500 to $1,000 for a simple will for a young family.
That's not bad.
But it can be as low as $300 or $400.
Absolutely.
And then he will be the first one to tell you if you don't even need him. I mean, if all you want is a beneficiary deed, I mean, come on, you know.
I would say maybe 20% of the people who contact me, more like a third of the people who contact me, I'm not even recommending they do any business with me. I'm sending them to another place or giving them some other recommendation.
You know, he said 2/3 of people do not have any kind of planning.
I know. We've been pretty late.
I've been horrible. We set up the trust. I haven't funded the trust.
I have a trust set up, and I never funded it. I have 2 trusts set up. We're going to talk about that. Thank you.
By default, I think everything goes to me when you croak.
Yeah, he got now. Let's cut to Scott though. I don't want to leave off Scott hanging here. So tell me, you're in the trucking business, Scott?
Yes, sir. I sure am.
So you're killing and maiming people every year?
Oh, I mean, every chance I get.
Now, Scott, tell me seriously. Do you feel Frank Azar, he's not the only one, do you feel that personal injury attorneys are targeting unfairly the trucking industry?
Very unfairly. I mean, they know we have to carry a certain amount of insurance. I had a truck totaled last year, and they had the basic bare minimum. So I had to file a claim with my company just to get my truck repaired.
I understand. But, Scott, listen, I understand what you're saying. The reason personal injury attorneys talk about semis and rigs is because they know that you not only have to carry certain insurance, they also know, in addition to being well insured, you have so many regulations you have to follow, and it's easier to find you negligent.
They can nitpick those logs.
Yeah. I mean, come on, let's face it, bro. You know that. I mean, can you blame them? But see, here's the way I look at it. I don't think they're targeting people that are not targets. I think that if you guys are doing everything correctly, I don't know. Am I being foolish? I don't know. What do you think?
Here's the way
Follow the money, man.
You know,
Go ahead.
When they say, hey, have you been, involved in an auto accident, whatever, that's one thing. I get it. That's pretty general. An auto accident covers everything. Trucks, cars, RVs, you name it. But when they start painting a target on our back going, hey, 18-wheelers, semis, whatever you call them, if you've been tangled up, blah, 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 people are looking, hey, that's my retirement, man. I can retire if I get plugged into one of these things.
Are you thinking it'll encourage people? Hold on.
Tracy Morgan, baby, $100 million.
I think he's saying it's going to encourage you.
What he needs to do is get some asset protection so that when these frivolous lawsuits come in...
Say that.
Yeah. Well, look at the same thing do about
You'd be a great... Oh, go ahead.
Motorcycles.
Shouldn't you form an LLC?
Yeah, but motorcycles...
No. There's
the
lawyers
law
who just...
tigers.
Right. They specifically say...
I will always look over at trust before I...
You know, for an attorney, he owes us lunch already.
Yeah.
While you were gone, he didn't understand. We knew where he got his shoes.
Have you heard that one before?
What law school did you go to?
There would be karma.
Arapahoe Community.
That's what I was going to tell you.
Costco.
The other half in Hindu.
He bought a shirt like I did. It says I'm an attorney.
In Hindu, karma is what you get back in this life. Dharma is what's put in your former life. You put in bad dharma, you get back bad karma.
Interesting.
Who were you
start stocking
talking
up for
to
the next life?
last night? The one perspective. Who was
if they form an LLC for their trucking company, doesn't that give them most protection by doing that?
No, it doesn't give you much protection at all.
Doesn't it?
Okay, just like I have now, virtual
Personal
private
though?
asset.
No, not the same.
An LLC is a sewer company.
Yeah.
And it covers the liability from bubbling up and attack your personal assets.
Yeah.
It doesn't do a lot to protect that asset from being taken away.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. At least to protect his home.
It protects you from the renter who slips and breaks your foot.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about a trucking company. Truck, that shouldn't they be
You're
forming
automatically
some
signed
sort
on
of
to
a
their
corporation or something with their truck?
I'm sure he already has a corporation, but you're always personally liable for your own
get
actions.
malware.
I have Mile High State Family LLC,
You
but if I
can
fuck up
never
someone's
get a
estate plan,
virus.
they can still sue me.
never
So it's more than a VPN, actually.
So it doesn't really
Because
give them that
they're
corporate shield that
basically,
they're hoping
you're
for.
using their firewall. It's not just a VPN, it's a
Not
firewall.
only that, big misconception about what the corporate shield can do for you.
For someone to go through
The corporate shield cannot control your own personal
They've
liability.
done it, but you know how they've done it?
I can't
They
form a
literally
corporation
got
and start punching
into
people
the
in the face.
VPN building.
Yeah.
They've literally got to the VPN.
He says they have 256-bit encryption.
Oh, that's cool.
And
yeah, you can't hack it off-site. It's next to impossible.
Right.
Hell,
So
the FBI can't hack it.
Think about it. He says, why wouldn't everybody do it?
We should
will
do that.
never
That'd be
have,
a good fit.
You'll never have spyware. You'll never have ransomware. You'll never
fit.
have malware. You'll never have a virus. You don't need virus software. You don't need shit.
It'd be a great.
Well, you still could if they sent an email to you and you open up a...
No, they won't let it through the email.
No, they're saying it's a firewall.
They fucking know. I don't know.
We have a firewall downstairs now. You can't get a virus once Mike's done doing it. We can't get a virus through email or anything downstairs. It'll flag.
Yeah, but you know what? I would like to do that VPN for our entire network.
It'll be for our network.
Yeah.
We can't do it on iHeart's network.
No, for Troubleshooter.com.
We bought it. We have it.
But
He's just got to implement it.
We're talking about a VPN.
Yes, it's the whole thing. So it's the VPN and the firewall. We spent $1,000 on it, man. Like 2 months ago.
Does it go through Amazon?
We bought it through Amazon.
No, I meant what cloud does it go through?
I don't. I'd have to ask Mike. I don't know. I didn't look at it.
And there's no latency, right? There's no latency, right?
For the most part, yeah. I bought the one that Mike said to buy.
So you're saying they're going to see an attachment.
It knows that it won't let you get that attachment.
Any
on your
attachment
PC.
or just
No,
attachment?
it'll scrub the attachment, and then when you open it, it'll say "fuck you," you can't have it.
Oh, it'll actually scrub it, so it actually brings it in before it gets.
We won't be able to get a virus. I mean, it's.
So why doesn't every company do that right now?
That's exactly what I asked the guy.
You gotta spend money.
No, I asked the guy. No, Mark, I'm talking about his service. Why not just sign up? He has a maximum of 100 and something a month.
No
I
idea.
said, why isn't he says, because I don't have somebody like you preaching it. And that's the God's honest truth. That they should be on every fucking computer in the city.
Well, all you got to do is look at how many people have lost money to have it paid.
And I don't care what you say. I don't know how a $1,000 piece of equipment we're getting can do the same thing. If it can, then I have to revisit what I'm thinking because I don't know. I'm just saying it doesn't seem like it.
God,
I mean, we hear that about government facilities and stuff having to pay the
big ransom
all the time.
Yeah, I've been hearing about big companies paying big ransoms.
And a company will put them out of business.
Yeah, can.
Especially if they think they can get by with it.
It's on ours at home. We just ignored them.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
God,
how'd you ignore them? Did they encrypt everything?
They encrypted all the stuff. We just made it limp along as best it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You should just sell it, bro.
I mean, we need to just get rid of it.
Why not? Time to sell it, man.
Why?
Why not? Time to sell it.
Fun.
Sell it.
You fly a helicopter?
Yeah.
Get a jetpack. Get a jetpack. A jetpack, you won't even have to leave your fucking house. You just hop on your deck.
Mm-hmm.
Or a flying skateboard.
Yeah, he could be.
Hoverboard.
Balloon boy.
Or balloons.
Balloon boy, yeah.
Did you live here during the balloon boy?
Gosh, shut up.
Maybe.
Oh, you know.
10 years ago, the 15th. 2 years ago today.
Yeah, almost exactly 10 years ago.
So now I moved here about a year.
It was national news in every state.
Yeah, I remember.
He was following the balloon boy in the helicopter.
Live.
It was crazy.
He was part of it. He was part of it.
Tom's the one that started the whole. There's a kid in there.
I see him.
He's looking out the window.
Tom, I'm on your side on that thing. I'm on your side.
He's flipping me off, the little prick.
Why would you not why would you not go after it? It was big news.
I was simply up there with every other news helicopter in the fucking city. I don't know why they singled me.
He got suckered.
You should have clipped his balloon. I got him. I'm taking him down.
Everybody got suckered, but I understand why everybody went after it. It was a big deal.
It was funny as hell.
It ended up funny as hell, but
that would have been funny if you had thrown out a stuffed toy and said he's falling.
And then they find the kid in his garage. He was hiding there the whole time.
He fell asleep.
His dad said he was
supposed to come out earlier.
If I was one of those cops, I would have kicked the shit out of both of them.
Yeah.
Boy, did they sucker you though.
Does George know what we're calling about?
You didn't see me up in my helicopter.
I was thinking, but I said, whoa.
Dan wasn't following him in the car.
I said, that balloon is that big?
I don't know. I mean, I assume he does.
50-pound kid, not going to lift him.
Clint, did you get in your car and go chase?
I would have if I knew where it was. God,
how does he explain that?
Just think if some helicopters would have collided.
If he was in there,
what
would have happened to him?
You know, I think what happens when you don't have anything to scale it to when it's in the air.
Hey, George,
they should have thought. People should have plugged it in and just roughly put what it is, say 50 feet by 30 feet. And there's not enough lift for a 50-pound kid.
How do you know when it's in the air? It's hard to scale it.
I know, but they should.
Yeah, but the wind could pick it up. Even though there's not enough lift at dead weight, the wind could have blown it.
I know, but this thing was going up.
I know.
Yeah.
The kid could be jumping inside the balloon.
So
you jump, he goes up.
Hey, he jumped again.
Anorexic child.
But then would bring it down when he fell.
All right, T. Martino is TS1.
Anorexic child.
I think.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. We are fighting for you. All you have to do is call 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome. This is the only show of its kind anywhere, and we are helping you to solve problems, to answer questions, to take complaints, and to make your life a little easier. And we talked about all kinds of stuff regarding wills and probate and trusts and irrevocable trusts and things like that. If you have any questions, give us a call. There are so many myths available when it comes to trusts. and probate. I have one that I get challenged on every single time. Somebody said, I want to give my kid a gift. And I know I can't, and I have cancer and all that, and I know I can't give him more than $14,000 a year. And I said, what's your entire estate? He said $3 million. And I said, so what do you want to do? He said, I'd like to give my kids as much as possible. I said, well, give them all. Give it to them all. Or give it to them. Give them a gift. Oh, then they'll have to pay all kinds of taxes on it. So can you explain the myth that people think about gifting?
Okay, so it's the $14,000 myth. And the myth is that if you give more than $14,000, you have to pay taxes. That is not correct as long as you've given away less than $10 million over the course of your life already.
Yeah.
If you give away more than $14,000, then you need to report it to the IRS. You need to let the IRS know. You'll need to pay your CPA or something to fill out a form and say, I've given a gift in excess of $14,000.
Because the additional goes toward your lifetime exemption.
Exactly. So the IRS can add it up and see if over the course of your life you've given away more than $10 million. Then they'll kick in the estate tax. But as long as you have gifted less than $10 million over the course of your life, you don't need to worry about paying any taxes.
And, of course, the giftee doesn't have to pay any taxes on it, right?
The giftee, you can receive gifts as often as much as you would like. You never have to pay any taxes on receiving a gift.
See that? And people just go through all kinds of conniptions, Mark. They call us and say, how do I do this? And I said, just give it to them. I mean, why do people, they fight me, and they'll write to me saying, I know for a fact you're wrong, or my accountant told me this. Well, screw it. You just heard it. Unless you have $10 million to give, you're not going to pay tax on anything. You're just going to give it away, and they're not going to pay tax.
What do you think about paying taxes over that? Let's say you got $100 million. Do you think it's fair? This money you've already been taxed on. You now.
Oh, that's a whole different
discussion.
discussion.
I'm asking you. What do you think?
I think if you pay tax on money, you pay tax on money. If you pay tax on the earnings, you already pay tax on the earnings. No. Do I think there should be a tax simply because you're transferring more than a certain amount? No, I don't. But,
me neither.
But there will be people who say, then the rich will always get richer, and I'm not going to get rich. Because that's what we're going to hear. The rich are going to get richer. Why should they keep all their money?
But a lot of that money isn't taxed.
What are you talking about?
The gains aren't taxed. So you bought a house, and it appreciated from $1 million to $20 million. And you leave it to everybody, you're saying that that's all.
No, you pay tax on that.
No, you don't. Not if it's an inheritance, you don't.
That's right, you don't.
Not at all, no matter what the amount.
If you are giving away more than $11 million, the number changes each year. But if you're giving away more than $11 million, then
I'm saying the gain. That you don't pay money on the gain if it's less than $10 million.
You don't have to pay any estate tax if you're passing.
No, here's what we're saying. If I sold my house and made $5 million profit,
we're talking about
I would have to pay a capital gains tax above $500,000 for a married couple. Now, if I did not sell it, but instead we died and it was left to my estate and the house was worth $5 million more, the people who inherit it would inherit it at the new basis of, let's say, $5 million or $500,000.
I got you.
And therefore, they would not pay on the gain I made, but they would pay on their own gain.
If it was left properly, yes.
Yeah, well, all you have to do is leave it, period. There's no properly about it. You just leave it. And no one who inherits it pays on a gain unless they sell it and get more than their basis some other time in the future. Then they pay their own set of gains. But I don't know the point. The point I was making is if you have a big estate, you've already paid tax on the money you've earned. The money that you're talking about, appreciation, is not earnings. So I don't see anything wrong with passing on assets forever without taxing. I don't know why there are estate taxes. Why? What was the reason?
I imagine it was another attempt by the government to raise
raise money. Yeah, they're saying, hey, if you make this much money, you shouldn't care.
Wasn't there like one day years ago there was no amount?
There was 1 year, 2010.
1 year.
There was no gift. There's an unlimited gift.
Why was that? Why that year?
They had a setup where each year it raised, and then there was an unlimited amount. And here's an interesting story. Some people were supposedly kept on life support for a few extra weeks so that they would pass away in the year when there'd be no gift and estate tax. George Steinbrenner, owner of the Yankees, passed away that year and saved his family hundreds of millions of dollars.
Wow. God, I wonder if anybody went early thinking, hey,
Let's go to Bob. Bob's got a complaint. And then I haven't forgotten about the Frank Azar complaint. So hang on, Scott, because we have another guy who drives a truck, a friend of ours, that wants to talk about that too. But first, I'm going to take Bob. Hi, Bob. What's going on?
Hi, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Long-time listener and faithful user of the referral list.
You know, I appreciate, listen, Bob, I appreciate you using the referral list, and I respect that. And that's why I want people to know why I'm taking your call, because you have a question.
Yeah, I'm actually meeting with David Salisbury this afternoon. But anyway, I had an issue yesterday. I needed to get my dishwasher replaced, and I went ahead and went over to Lowe's and picked up a dishwasher. And then I thought, well, you know what? I've always heard the commercial on 24/7. Let me give them a call and see.
Fix it 24/7, right?
For them to, yeah, I'm sorry, fix it 24/7.
Okay.
What it would cost to put the dishwasher in. I did call and specifically said that I need to have the dishwasher installed. I didn't need anybody to analyze the problem or anything because I already had part of the dishwasher pulled out.
Sure.
So they went ahead and came out and for $39 kind of looked at it and evaluated what I needed. And I was going to go ahead and have him do the job until he showed me the invoice of what it would cost. And it was $889.
Wait, $889 to install a dishwasher?
A dishwasher, and my dishwasher are partially out. So, I mean, it was, you know, I had the dishwasher sitting on my truck outside. All I wanted was just to have them put
I understand.
It in.
Are you asking me?
800,
are you asking me if I think that's too much?
Exactly.
Well, if I had a dishwasher that had to be replaced, and I bought the dishwasher, I would not pay $889 to have it installed. So that's my opinion. However, here's something I want you to know, and I'm going to talk to the owner, because we don't shield our members from any of this. I don't really care about pricing. I don't, as long as there's a reason for it. Now, I have the right not to pay that price, and I have the right to shop around. So if, let's say, a company charges $800, $900, or whatever for a job, and other companies charge $200 or $300, I say let the market evaluate that. But you have a good question, so let's talk to George Donaldson, the owner. He never shies away from just talking about stuff. Fix it 24/7. George, that sounds a little steep to me. $889 to install a dishwasher.
Well, I can tell you if it's just a straight dishwasher swap out. I mean, our price on that's only a couple $100. So, Bob, did he tell? Was the shutoff needed to be replaced? Anything with the water line?
Well, he was saying one of the shutoffs was one of those little shutoff things that you can buy at Lowe's. Needed to be replaced, and I basically did it myself in about 10 minutes. But, I guess my frustration is that I still,
Well, hold on. Could you do us a favor instead of shooting in the dark? Because even though I understand you said it was just a replacement, now you told us there was a bad valve. Could you just send us the invoice so I can see it? I want to see it for my edification before we even discuss it. I want to see line by line what it is.
Okay, I never got an invoice. He just showed it to me on his iPad. And then
I'm sure George can find it. I don't know if they delete them or not. But Bob, really, I do want to look at it. I mean, I listen. People have a right to charge what they want. But what George said, and I want to make it clear, it's a few $100 to have that swapped. So there must have been some other stuff there. So, and by the way, I just want to say this. I can name 25 companies that all have similar pricing. I can name 25 others that have dirt cheap pricing. And then I can have 25 others that are so far out of the ballpark that it's like mortgaging your house. I can't tell you who to use, but I will explain it to you. And I believe that you have a good question. So why was that quoted at $889? We'll see. That's all. We'll see. I need to see it.
oh, it just needed a valve. Oh, by the way, they also did this.
Yeah, but he said he did the valve.
I know. No, after they told him. He said they told me that I needed a valve, and I did it in 10 minutes.
Is this done?
Yeah.
Did they actually do the work, though?
No.
Oh, then I really don't understand the call.
Oh, he was just curious, and I don't blame him. He's curious. He says, I depended on these guys. Why?
I've seen dishwashers.
Probably paid the $39 because he didn't have them do it.
I've seen dishwashers trapped because they did a floor after the dishwasher, and you can't get it out.
But his is partially out, he said.
I think he did it himself eventually. Hey, is she on the phone?
You know, easy
you
to
ask
is
Bob if he ended up doing it himself, and if so, how long
But
did
they also get
everything
sold.
take him,
They can
including
also be a
parts?
big leaker too, if you don't do it right.
Well, you do it
But
right.
you're right. Toilets also. I guarantee you, toilets can be $800.
You don't have to use a wax ring.
Does George want to say anything else? Can
I
George
use
just
wood.
find that ticket and just give us an idea of what's
These
going
balls
on?
of wood.
Because I'm sure there was a lot of work.
George Washington had false teeth made out of wood.
K&H Home Solutions. Listen, you just have a few days, like 3, to take advantage of the free color upgrade for vinyl replacement windows. You don't have to have it done in the next 3 days, but you have to call and make an appointment. Or better yet, you go to the website khwindows.com. khwindows.com. Here's the deal. Vinyl windows usually come in white. If you want a color, don't make the mistake of trying to paint vinyl. They do the colors at the factory, designer colors, and it's impregnated in the window. Will never need painting, nor will it need any maintenance whatsoever. But that costs more than the standard white. So if you want accent colors, black, hunter's green, or let's say some maroon dark reds, they have all kinds of colors, and you get them for a free upgrade price. That means for the price of a normal window. You only have until the 20th to make that appointment. Also, they're going to take off 35% off Provia entry doors, or 45% if you mention Martino. Make your own appointment at khwindows.com.
I was in there going back there talking to Shay, and Tom was cussing about something really loud. And you know what that was about? Anyway, came over the speaker in there.
I bet Master Ritter installs
I'm on the phone.
toilets
She
for
says,
$90.
"Who's swearing at you?"
You know what, man? Last night, I just
"No,
love
it's under my control."
salespeople. I would walk by and hear people saying, I never had better results in my life.
He's loud too. He came over the thing in there, real loud.
The other guy on our
She goes,
station, he said,
"They're swearing at you. What did you do?" I said, "I'm in the control room. We just get stuff coming from another studio."
That's what you said.
Yeah.
They've tried him on everything too, man. They've sold that guy on FM everything.
Yeah, but you know what?
He never.
I don't have one long-term contract with my clients. Not one.
What does that mean?
That means I've kept people 15 and 20 years without a long-term contract.
Gotcha.
Wayne,
That's what I thought you were saying.
was a supply line 1-inch copper pipe that froze. He needed replaced, and they quoted him $585. Now he wants to talk to you about that.
So it has a frozen pipe.
Floodgates.
I'm not going to open. I'm not going to do it. You know why? You tell him this. Tell him to do me a favor. To be fair, call 3 different companies and get bids.
Get brothers.
Okay.
Okay. If that's what I need to know.
They
Because
all-
I'm not. Or I want him to send me the fucking
Not
invoice.
price.
And if he can't send me the invoice, have George look it
This
up.
new
But I'm not
plumbing
gonna
company
come
I'm
back
starting
with
next
one.
week.
It's
Oh, no,
not worth
Perfect
it.
was
If there's a
really
never-ending
fast.
stream,
I
I don't know what
totally
they're
needed
charging
Suzanne,
more. It could be
did you say a
anybody.
1-inch supply line? That's a main.
That's
1-inch copper pipe froze.
It was one lady.
That's the
who
main.
bitched about a carpet anyway.
Yeah, the water
She
main
had to
broke.
take that toilet
A
out.
1-inch copper
That's
pipe.
their main. That's their water main.
They're
Okay.
gonna do.
Yeah, that is a big deal.
Yeah, it could be like 12. Was it 1,200?
You know, I said
Said
I'm gonna tell her
$585.
See, I'm not going to analyze every fucking person that calls right now,
Okay.
unless there's a problem. But I want to see the invoice. I swear to God. I do.
Okay.
He's waving his thumb around. You're fucking good, don't cruise.
Who that Ed was?
Did I do that?
That wasn't the same guy with the dishwasher, was it? Oh.
Okay, let's see.
You know what? We basically built this one insurance agency. Built someone literally built. They are amazing.
Same with Integra, though.
For health insurance. With the friends I have over the years, I started out with this one guy who had 2 vans. Or 3 vans.
2 clicks in a van.
Now they're doing about $60 million a year.
I'm expecting the same.
You are. You can guarantee it. Take it to the bank.
That's what Hiram told me.
To the bank, baby. To the bank.
I was just earlier this week. I was in David Salisbury's office doing for my
He's
dad.
still getting business.
Oh, I imagine.
Well, he's still on the referral list.
Yeah, but he's not coming in here.
You got better hair.
He got 2 business.
Yeah. I don't know. In the legal profession, grayer hair may be better.
No, he's bald.
Yeah, he's here a long time.
He had no hair.
Yeah, no, it's got none.
Better hair goes a long
We
way.
always enjoyed having this. We always enjoyed. The only difference is he would bring steak dinners with him.
All the time, and that's probably
And
why.
that's what we thought. I came in hungry this morning.
At least Jimmy John's.
Naturally. The steak guy brings the steaks.
Remember that time he brought us all cash too? It was like
Right. That's true. That's for Christmas. And then steak.
We'll see
Sour cream
how
with
today's
potatoes.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, I'm going to let you go now, Scott, because you want to talk about Azar, and you say that he is making it bad on the trucking industry. One thing I meant to ask you, Scott, do you think he's encouraging people to make up lawsuits?
I do. I really do. And he's hurting our business. He's taking away business from us.
Well, how does he take that? That's what I don't understand. How does he take business away from people who need trucking? I mean, I don't understand that.
Because certain jobs require a certain amount of insurance. And if we don't have it or can't afford to get that insurance, we don't get to take those jobs.
Oh, so he's scaring
like
people.
that-
He's scaring people into upping their minimums.
No. Like, if we have a contract with a certain company and they say, okay, for you to work with us, you have to have $5 million worth of coverage and $2 million worth of aggregate. So if we can't afford to get that because of people like him that cause our rates to go up, we lose those contracts.
Wow. I see. Because of him, though, you're saying. Why isn't it because...
Well, not just because of him, but because, I mean, he's the most prevalent one up here, and he's the one that seems to attack us the most. Nobody else has near the commercials that he has for trucks.
Oh, no. He spends millions and millions a month.
Millions.
Now, hold on.
And
Hold on. We got truck driver Lee, who he's a former truck driver, so he's not quite as lazy as he used to be. So,
Oh, Tom.
Lee, what is your beef? Do you agree with this guy?
Well, you know, he's got a basis, yes, but if you really look at the history, and I've got a lot of history, 48 years as a driver with one company, and this one company, by the way, has to have the best, most insurance of anybody ever would, because we hauled nothing but the most hazardous chemicals.
So the point is what? Therefore what?
Therefore, it's not, I call Frank Azar just a Johnny-come-lately. Really, this has been a problem, a growing, I say, problem for the business and industry in general for over 20 years.
What has been a problem? What has been?
20 years ago, my company only needed $5 million, and when I retired, he had to have $15 million on my.
I understand, Lee. So you're saying the insurance industry has been hiking and hiking and hiking, and you don't think it has to do with lawsuits?
It absolutely has to do with lawsuits. You can go back and look at the history of this.
Well, then Lee, you do agree with Scott that these attorneys frighten the hell out of these carrier or these transporters.
Well, if you're going to be in the business, you can't be frightened.
Well, what I mean is, Lee, what I mean is, you seem to agree that the climate is causing people to carry more insurance. Now, is that because of people suing more or because of attorneys telling people to sue more? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Do I believe personal injury attorneys encourage people to sue? Yeah, I do. But do I also believe that too many people sat on their rights in the past? Yeah, I do. So I say let the courts figure it out. But what Scott is saying is, while the courts figure it out, we have to carry so much insurance, we're getting aced out of business. Right, Scott?
that's exactly right. And it's hurting us. It's causing us to lose money. Excuse me. And, I mean, it's going to be what shuts these little businesses like ours down.
Okay, what did you want to say? Blake is an attorney. Of course, he does, estates and wills and trusts and all of that stuff. But what do you have to say? You're an attorney.
Scott, the reality of the situation is that you have to carry a lot of insurance because you're in a high-risk industry. What I recommend you look into doing is some personal asset protection. So if Frank Azar does come after you, you have that cushion of insurance to hopefully settle the claim. But personally, if you can protect your assets and make yourself a less attractive person to sue, you can operate without any fear. You can run your business and just focus on growing the business and not have to worry about all the advertisements and potential lawsuits out there.
Okay, so he brings up a good point. Asset protection. Can companies do that as a corporation? Can corporations protect assets like that too, or just individuals?
Typically, it's individuals creating asset protection for themselves, and those asset-protected individuals have investments in various businesses is a typical way to set it up.
Right, but for example, his trucks, let's say, if they're owned by the company, his personal trust can't protect those.
You cannot escape personal liability by forming a corporation. So simply because you formed a corporation, put the trucks in the corporation, you as the driver of the car are always going to be personally liable.
No, I understand.
Right.
Or you're the owner who they could say did not supervise maintenance.
Sure.
Or whatever. But what I'm asking is this. The trucks are with the corporation. If you form a trust, you can't put your trucks in that trust and then loan them to the corp, can you?
So typically trucks, cars, these are one of our highest sources of liability. A trust is our protected treasure chest. So we wouldn't want to put our highest source of liability into the trust.
Okay, you do that on purpose. You leave them out on purpose.
Now, we might do some equity stripping where we take the value of the high-risk assets, put those into a protected structure, and then leave the risky asset out.
Wow. See, this gets very complicated. That's why you need attorneys. By the way, for those listening, when he's not here, you can reach him at milehighEstatePlanning.com. Okay, so Scott, you had your say. Lee, I agree with you guys that we have a high-risk industry. We have a lot of people looking to sue. We have attorneys telling people to sue. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Josh has a comment on the trucking call. Go ahead, Josh.
It's not necessarily the trucking call. It's insurance in general.
Okay, go ahead.
Injury.
Yeah.
You mentioned let the courts figure it out, but oftentimes I think the attorneys know it's not going to court. It's going to mediation, and the insurance companies would rather pay a small mediation settlement than take the risk in court. And so I think most attorneys, even sometimes if there's not a case there, will say, let's push it, let's ask, let's go to mediation, and we'll get something.
I see what you're saying.
I wonder how many personal injury things actually ever end up in front of a judge because the insurance company would rather just settle and get rid of it.
Probably most of them, Josh. Okay, I look like I'm on a little TV commercial if you're looking online because I have see what I have here? I have my CBD stuff here, the Cherry Bomb. It really works. You want to try one? You got any pain anywhere?
No.
Come on, try one. Anyway, you want to try one? Okay, CBD products that work, it's Panacea. That's what it is, Panacea Life. You can go, now they're good for sleep, good for anxiety, but also pain. So I put up this number or this name, helpmypaincbd.com, 800-985-0515, 800-985-0515.
I go at 3 o'clock today.
I'm afraid if I take one, Mark will go away.
Oh, it's past the elevators and to the right.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
Not very well marked.
Why you steal my shit?
I stole it?
Yes, I said that about Daphne.
Oh, did that?
I said if I take the cream and rub it on her, will she disappear?
Did you hear that, Daff? Did you say that? Actually, Daff took one of those, and she said her lips took a little bit, and she felt good for the next day.
She also said we bombed North Korea not long ago.
Maybe she kept it from getting bombed. It's the bomb. No, she said it's the bomb. Korea's the bomb.
I got to ask today and ask them if they've taken CBD off that list yet. I go in today for
Of what? Oh, well, like say hemp. You make sure
I know.
it's the hemp.
I know,
CBD.
but they just said CBD period was still on the list. They're slow changing it.
And they call it.
Is Integra on the log today?
They call it CBD no matter if it's
Make
hemp
sure
or
you do
marijuana.
all Integra's live.
Do you guys really
do
have
a
one?
general.
Can I really give him one?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about Simply Floors, Inc. I told you the holiday rush is on, and I'm not kidding. Buddy Mitchell and his wife Karen, they started this place on one premise. Let's pass savings on to consumers, let's make some money, but let's give them a great deal. So right now you get 30, 40, 50% off. Really, not 50% is rare. You can get 20% all the time, probably 30 and 40% in there. Here's the bottom line though, okay? This holiday season, they're going to give you the best prices and then do an extra 5% discount on top of all other savings, plus special discounts for Shaw. And they have all the floor coverings you need. SimplyFloorsInc.com. SimplyFloorsInc.com, 52nd and Ward.
How did I do this one? Okay, this is just one. Yeah.
Goodbye. You know, those pesky things that always run out when you're using them, of course.
Is this a commercial?
Not using them right at the most inconvenient time.
No, it's not. It's a different show.
It's a silly commercial.
What's it about?
I don't know. Sounds like a guy just talking like a...
Kind of like that red lobby.
It's a commercial.
Right.
Wakes you up.
You got the wrong websites. You see that?
Finally found a place that my Verizon doesn't work most of the building.
I revised every one of them and saved it.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't think Verizon stuff in here.
Yeah, there's all kinds of interference through all the equipment, but it out there in that red room works.
So you know I'm gone till
Here.
1st then, right?
No, I got 3 bars sitting in here right now.
Show.
That's
Today?
unusual.
And then you're back.
31st.
There's so much equipment in the building and some of it
No, I'm leaving right after the
just
show.
Today.
In fact, I wouldn't mind
through
leaving
cell
like
phone.
15 minutes early because I get out here before traffic.
There's 17 radio stations.
Wow.
Yeah, Bronco fans.
What is it, 12 hours?
14.
I'm not either, and they're right
Well,
across
if you
the
went
fall
faster, it would be.
most of the days.
What do you average?
Yeah, it's KOA.
Well, like say Iowa, you can't.
Broncos radio 24/7.
Pretty much. Well,
Is there
not
cops
all the
everywhere
time.
Oh, you have cameras and
Focus.
They
On
do?
Tuesdays and something else.
So they clock
So,
it.
Tom seems like the best guy on the radio.
He's been on radio
I was terrible.
41
They might have gotten
years.
rid of it. I had one 3 years ago.
It's a record.
He's a what?
That's a
You're
record.
not connected to Colorado.
Yeah, nobody.
Plus,
Who's the
it doesn't.
best one in
It's
town?
you know, a third party one.
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know how to rate
But
it.
they're for highway. That's
It's certainly the
freeway.
longest,
Yeah.
longest running.
I know there's some Colorado Springs that use helicopters occasionally, state patrol.
It's either 40 or 41. I think it might be 41 now. Longest running.
Okay, now, how is this even humanly possible that on my computer it has the right one?
You sent him the wrong files. I mean,
But Mark, I'm playing the ones I sent him, and he's getting an old version of them. I swear to God.
and you're not?
Okay, yeah.
Something's wrong.
Well,
Yeah.
User error.
TheArtofGranite.com. 303-382. Do you hear it? Okay. Is that the right one?
TheArtofGranite.com.
Yeah. Every fucking one of them is the right one.
Well, just resend it. Maybe he pulled up the wrong ones.
It's the art of granite, not
The Art of Granite.
the art. I gotta change this.
The.
Hmm.
Not to be
Look, I don't know
confused
what
with
to tell you.
not the.
Or he had artofgranite.net before.
Yes, and someone stole it.
No, he didn't, did they?
Yeah.
They stole artofgranite.net?
He let it expire.
Oh.
Oh.
Someone snagged her up.
It can happen if you don't. We have a copyright that in Colorado was easy to get. It's impossible to get.
I got a McDonald's hamburger last night for the first time ever.
Ooh,
I don't
really?
eat the bread. Fuck, I still taste it.
I know it. McDonald's hamburgers give me a little stomachache.
I was so hungry.
You should get like their chicken or something.
You know, I got a wacko mother-in-law
Or filet of flipper.
that goes to McDonald's every fucking day. They love McDonald's so much they take selfies in McDonald's. Show them the selfies of your wacko mom in McDonald's. You've never seen anything like it.
Are we on the air?
I didn't believe it until she started showing me these.
They're like, who wants
How often do they go to McDonald's?
Twice a day.
Twice a day. What do they get? Same
Don't
thing?
judge, Daniel.
No. What do they? I know I'm not. I'm not judging. I'm asking what they got.
No wonder she weighs in at 480.
What do they get?
Mark.
What do they
Oh
like?
my God.
What do they like?
Well, right now they're loving the McRib.
Oh, I like the
Oh,
McRib.
that's right. It's back for a
I like the
while.
McRib.
Look, even their profile picture has like a little McDonald's cup. Look, it's like if you scroll through, look, McRib. Look, I'm at McRib again.
Don't they like to cook?
No, not at this age, Daniel. Look, oh, now that she's having slaw dog. But it's like, it's all the time.
Twice a day.
They go to McDonald's.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK,
303-713-8255. All right, what's on your mind today? Let's talk. If you have a problem, a question, or complaint, give us a call. Did you call that dealer about the odometer callback, Deputy Clint?
Yeah, I'm waiting until this afternoon when he's out of meetings.
All right, so you did not hear from him technically. Okay. But she claims there was an odometer rollback sometime in the life of that vehicle, and the latest dealer certified on an odometer statement that it was actual mileage.
How does that
What
work?
responsibility do they have to check the past?
You know who I'd like to ask? Jim Janicelli. I wonder how that would be handled. He knows this stuff.
That would be a good one to start with.
Regardless if they knew or not, they still said it was not modified.
It was the actual mileage.
Yeah, so
they
I mean,
could have said actual mileage unknown. Now, there's two possibilities. One, when they checked car check, whatever they call that, auto check or car check, when they check that, there is no evidence of a rollback. If you check Carfax, there's an obvious evidence of a rollback. It goes from 130,000 or something, or 100 and something, to 64. And then from 64, it climbs back up again incrementally, which would lead you to believe it wasn't a one-time error in entry.
I agree.
Because everyone after that added to the 64. So, could you make the argument that they did their due diligence by checking one source? Or wink, wink, did they check both sources and take the one they liked the best?
But does it even matter?
Okay, let's ask our attorney today. Of course, he's here to talk about estate planning and stuff, but let's ask him about this because he's an attorney. I'd like to have...
If I'm selling a house and I say the roof was never, ever a problem, and then you find out it was a problem...
Well...
Even if I didn't know
First
it
of all,
was a problem.
On a disclosure statement, you would make that statement, and it would be in writing. And actually, the disclosure statement is your knowledge. It's not the actual. It's not the actual condition. It's your knowledge of the condition. That's all any statement is your knowledge, unless you have what's called fiduciary. Then it gets odd. It's not just your knowledge. It's the best possible source of knowledge. In other words, you can't say, well, I think this was the best investment. If you're a fiduciary, you have to have something to back that up. But if you're not a fiduciary, if you're just giving a friend advice, you can say, I love this investment. And so let's talk to the attorney about it. That dealer did not have a fiduciary responsibility, did they?
No, you do not have a fiduciary responsibility when you sell most items.
So when they said this was the actual mileage and they could show on their auto check where it was verified, is that enough?
I think that would be enough for them to escape liability and be able to defend that this is to the best of our knowledge. We didn't disclose any information that was false. We didn't bring anything that wasn't true.
You know, what do you think, Mark? You're looking hesitant, Mark.
I am. I'd like to hear from a dealer. I mean, that's what I want to hear from. I mean, if
how they would handle
it? Here's where I get caught up. If I tell the customer, even in writing, which this is in writing, it is actual mileage and correct mileage. If I tell them in writing the car is in perfect shape, and we find out the car is not in perfect shape,
next day. Hold on. If they have something to rely on, this could be called, okay, he'll tell you about fraud in the inducement. It's only fraud in the inducement if you know that it is fraud. Right?
Exactly. If we could somehow show that they knew otherwise, then you'd have a good case for...
These are questions on the bar, by the way, all kinds of weird questions like this. If somebody says something, are they saying it or are they declaring it? So,
well, on that title, they're declaring it.
Okay, well, okay. Is that fraud in the inducement?
No, I think you have
because
to have intent.
they didn't think
they had no intent.
Yeah. Now, if we could show that they saw the Carfax and they saw the auto check and chose the auto check, I think we'd have something.
Right, then we'd have a case.
Or in a case, Mark, where somebody was selling a house, okay, and they said they never had a problem with their sewer. This place, listen to this, this buyer went and checked with Roto-Rooter companies and found one that had been there 3 times.
And he checked with the neighbor, and the neighbor knew it had been worked on.
Yeah. So, you know what? You got to do some homework. The mere fact that the odometer was rolled back, I don't think makes the reason I say I don't think makes the dealer liable, because state law might, I don't know, state law might say no matter what.
That's what I'm wondering.
Well, let's look that up. Look that up. There might be a state law. That's why you want to talk to a dealer. So let's get Jim on. Okay, he's a dealer friend, Jim Janicelli. That's a good question. Let's talk to Becky now. Becky, and the attorney we're talking to is Blake Harris, milehighestatePlanning.com. What's going on, Becky?
Well, my husband and I have a 2018 Dutch Newmar Dutch Star up at Transwest. We took it in. We'd taken it to Alaska this summer.
Now, this 2018 Newmar, is it still under warranty?
No, because some parts are the chassis and some of the drivetrain things. Some things are not.
What size is it? It's a Class A?
Yes, it's diesel 4569. I'm sorry.
45. Okay, so what is going on?
Well, we took it up for service in September. One of the slides had quit, the motor had quit, and that was out of warranty, and we knew it. And then there was a chain drive that worked one of the slides that had a piece broken. We were going to pay for that. The big issue started with we had a windshield break, had it repaired in Alaska. They did a terrible job, so it was going to have to be redone. Down here, they actually even cracked it, putting it back in Alaska. But anyway, but the problem is now they had to take it to the body shop in Brighton to do fiberglass repair and then put the new windshield and then touch up paint.
Okay, hold on, Becky. Hold on. The body work they had to do, was that because of the Alaska shop?
That's because of the Alaska shop.
Okay. And
supposedly the Alaska shop is paying, their insurance is covering it, because now it's over $10,000, but we still don't have a final bill from Transwest to get the insurance claim settled. But then yesterday they were taking the vehicle from this body shop in Brighton back to Frederick, and we got a call that the check engine light was on and oil was all over everywhere.
How many miles on this?
Like 29,000. It's practically new.
All right, listen. Who are you blaming for this engine light? Apparently you're blaming. You don't think it's...
Well, we just don't know, and we can't get a straight answer. So I'm driving up there to go sit in there. My husband's in bed with a migraine, and I'm driving up there to be the heavy hand because they won't tell us
what I would do.
What they're finding.
What I would do is just get a shop you know and trust. And for those diesel pushers, you have Interstate. Is that what they're called? Interstate? Is it what is their name? The one up Transwest. Transwest. Yes.
Has it.
Is that where you have it now, Transwest?
That's the one.
Okay, listen, we have good. We never get a lot of complaints about them. The other one is Stewart and Stevenson. And they do buses and they do trucks over the road, but they will take motorhomes. What were you going to say?
Transwest has an impeccable reputation.
Yeah, they, listen.
Well, and they're the Newmar dealer, so for warranty things, that's who we have to take it to.
Yeah, but you didn't say. You said it wasn't warranty. So.
Well, some of it is warranty. Apparently, the oil pan, when we took it in to have just routine service done, they said that they noticed that there was a leak in the gasket
All right.
around the
Do me a
oil
favor.
pan.
It's impossible to say anything right now, Becky. You've had some bad luck with bad shops in Alaska, a bad shop that did some damage. But all we're talking about now, even though in the past you had problems with windshield and all that, what we're talking about right now is an engine light, and we don't know why it's on. So before we jump the gun and say they ran it out of oil or they did something wrong, let's find out what it is, and then call me back. Suzanne, give her our back email and number where they can get in touch with me and Clint, and listen, we'll look at it, but I want to know what they say before we jump the gun.
I think she's yelling before she knows she's hurt.
Right. What did they all? She said took it and then the engine light came on.
Well, she doesn't know where they stand with them.
Okay, but it was an engine light, not just an oil light. Right?
Yeah, check engine lights on.
So it could be something.
But you know what? They drove that damn thing to Alaska. They were foolish.
Why?
Really?
The road heaves. They start bottoming out. You're going along and the road heaves, they bottom out. They do a lot. They break windshields.
Oh, it's better though now, isn't it?
It's paved. It's not all the rocks in it, but the asphalt road heaves. Our neighbor came back all tore up. My friend came back all tore up from Alaska, driving up there and back.
Yeah, but, you know.
He went up with a tow trailer.
What's that?
He went up with a tow trailer.
Toto was
not
the dog in that other thing.
It's also a trailer.
The Toto.
Okay, you've heard me talk about Fix It 24/7 for plumbing, heating, cooling, and electric. If you want to have the very best service, you can get their $39 clean-in check before we get the next cold snap. For new customers, they want to introduce you to how thorough they are and how they go through that entire system. Get your furnace checked and cleaned. And this is not just an excuse to get into your home. They truly take that thing apart to the extent they can. The blower motor, the burners, the parts, and they clean everything, every component. They put it back together, they adjust it, and make sure it's got a clean bill of health. Just $39. The average call is like 2 hours, sometimes more. 720-526-3939. That's 720-526-3939. FixMyHome.com.
Some of those windshields.
Hey, if you tell me,
yes,
and see what we should I just. This guy does it every few days. He's gonna get on and says something.
Okay. I just resent those spots, and if he gets the wrong version, I'm going to call Voodoo on him.
Voodoo. I had a friend who led caravans to Alaska.
Okay, what am I looking at?
Man, it's hard on motorhomes. It's really hard because of the heaves. The bodies will twist and break windows. They'll break fiberglass. They'll bottom out. Really hard on him. He quit doing it. He said it was just tearing up his motorhome so bad.
I remember
he every once in a while.
I've got Class A's and so Tom has. You know what they're talking about, the buses?
No.
They have the diesel in the back.
Oh, gotcha. Kind of.
Anyway, they're the way to go because they got a diesel. It's powerful. You pull a car behind you, an extra vehicle behind you. All the noise, everything's behind you. When you're sitting up front, you just float down the road.
That's nice.
Know what I mean?
I watch them both.
How long have you been on the radio?
Just a couple of years.
What did you do before?
Well, for 6 years before that, I was a college professor teaching CNC machining at a technical college. I've been a contractor my whole life, building airplane hangars the last 20 years.
He has done a few things.
Police officer, just about everything.
All right.
About every 10 years, I just changed.
Shark bait. You've been shark bait.
Shark bait, yeah.
He got bit by a snake and a shark in the same week or something.
Lightning bolt.
Well, here, we'll start up.
Now the other thing.
Shark.
He was a porn star for a while.
Wolf.
I suspected.
Wolf.
He's going to show you that now.
Some things are better left unseen.
Wow.
Blew off my big toenails. They never grew back.
Wow.
I've been bit by about everything. Just everything you imagine has bit me. Rattlesnakes twice.
You've been bit by a person?
Yes, I have been bit by a
humans along the way?
Huh? Yeah, I have been bit by a person.
Was that in the porn career?
That was during the porn
career. Are we on air?
I got paid.
I worked as a deputy for Jackson County Sheriff's Department, was wrestling with a mentally ill guy.
I will bet you that's the bad thing about being a police officer is the wackos.
Yeah.
What do you mean the wackos?
Well, you know,
there's no wackos out there. You're saying
this poor guy had a brain tumor.
Who?
We were
what was
the guy
his name?
I don't know.
Wacko.
He showed up. His mom was a nurse that worked down at the jail facility for youth.
Okay.
He shows up down there with an axe, naked and bloody.
Jesus.
He's had 2 big major surgeries. He's got brain tumors. So his head's shaved on one side. He's crazy. He's bloody, sweaty, slippery. The 3 of us, the other 2 bigger than me. This guy's probably 100 pounds soaking wet. He's lost a bunch of weight because he's sick. And I feel sorry for him. You know, he can't help what's wrong with him. We wrestled with him for about 20 minutes.
He emailed back.
He tore
Well,
uniforms.
you'll see it. They're not right.
He bit us.
You're sending him the.
Bit all 3 of us, tore uniforms up.
I just can tell.
Just,
if I'm not looking at you, that would be
what happens.
So now I'll just have to start doing it like this.
Go under the table when you talk to him.
Mark, yes. I took the same exact spots I sent to him, copied and pasted into another email, sent it to him. He says, no, they're right.
I bet you sent him the wrong ones to begin with.
Well,
I don't know how.
I overwrote the old ones. Honest to God.
Oh, you overwrote them?
I don't have the old version. Let me see if I have the old version.
Well, just go get where you sent them and play them.
I don't think I have the old version. Let me see if I do. I'm trying to think where I'd have
I'm sure you have it in your send.
Ghosts.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Jim Janicelli, he's with Colorado Springs Dodge, and they're on our referral list at referrallist.com, one of the largest Dodge dealers in the country. I want to ask a quick question, Jim. Do you know, if you don't, that's fine. I know that when you sell a car, or anyone, any licensed dealer sells a car, they can either put down actual mileage, unknown, or they can put down this is the exact, or this is the real mileage, or whatever it says. And then this one dealer sold a car that had been rolled back. There is absolutely no doubt about it. One of the auto check services, called Auto Check, I believe, shows that it had consistent mileage. Carfax shows it was turned back at 100-something thousand back to 60, and every subsequent service after that was 60-something thousand plus a few. So we have reason to believe it truly was turned back. Are there any laws that say if a dealer checks that box that it's the actual mileage, do you guys have to stand behind that, or can you plead ignorance if you'd relied on another? I don't know.
Yeah, we can plead ignorance, but the state will investigate, and if there's any chance that the dealer should have known, that's the key word. If they should have known, they had it in their shop, they would look underneath it. There's a wire hanging down. Anything that would have given them a hint that there was a problem with this vehicle.
Right, but it's not an automatic just because you said it was actual. You have to stand behind it.
It's not automatic. It certainly is something that most dealers will take the car back, and then they'll deal with wherever they got it, because it turns out that's probably who violated the law, and the dealer can go after them. But
it goes way down the chain.
Yeah, exactly. But the state will only tell you to do that if they believe, meaning the state, that you should have known.
Okay.
Not that you did know, that you should have known.
Thank you very much. Jim Janicelli is with Colorado Springs Dodge. They do a great job. So that sounds reasonable, and it's what our attorney today said, Blake.
Sounds like most dealers would take it back, though.
They are taking it back.
Oh, they are.
Hold on. Did you call them?
Well, that's a tidbit you should have shared.
Wait a minute.
No, I talked to her. They're giving her that full credit for that $16,500 she
Yeah,
paid
but
for.
they want to pay her another $4,000 for a car that's not worth.
We actually looked it up and did the model she's getting.
Yes,
and it's more around 20.
Okay, so they're
deal.
giving her a real deal.
Yeah, it looks pretty fair.
Oh, it does. Okay, that is a real deal if you looked it up. Okay, I thought the new car they were offering her was worth less, but you're saying it was worth around 20. That's what they say.
We originally looked it up wrong, so.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good news. They are taking it back, but they're really exchanging it with a little bump in price. Maybe they can give her a break. I don't know. But we have yet to talk to them. 303-713-TALK. So we have Blake Harris with us, milehighestatePlanning.com. And I wanted to ask him, at what age does somebody need a will?
You know, we went through this question earlier today.
Oh, you did. You already did on the air.
But it's real quick. It's not about the age. It's about when you have beneficiaries. So as soon as you have children that you were concerned about, it's probably a good time to look into setting up an estate plan.
Okay. And when you say estate plan, you certainly don't think everyone needs a trust, right?
No, certainly not. There's a time when it's appropriate to use a will. There's a time when it's appropriate to use a trust, and it's going to be a decision that I help clients make on a case-by-case basis.
Does it have to do with net worth?
It has to do with assets. It has to do with whether they own real estate, and it has to do with whether they have children. Those are the three factors. We look at the overall asset level. If they own real estate, then I'm probably going to recommend they have a revocable living trust to keep it outside of probate. And then also, if they have children, we want to make sure that those assets are protected for the next generation.
And have you written up complicated trusts where you want to leave something to your spouse, but you don't want your spouse to spend it on her kids? You want, let's say she has 3 or 4 kids, and you have 3 or 4 kids, but you want her to be taken care of, but not her kids.
Sure. So I would probably say the majority.
Does that, by the way, sound stingy when people say that?
The majority of my estate planning clients, the ones that are over the age of 50, closer to the age of retirement, are blended families, and they want to set up a structure just like that. They want to be able to provide
because they feel like wait a minute. I mean, I work my life for my kids, and her kids, I just met at 30 years old or whatever.
And may not be particularly fond of those children.
Or no, you may love them, but they're adults and they never did anything. They're his father, their father.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
So you do blended. So that's a common thing, the blended family.
Very common, very common. And blended families have a much greater need to create an estate plan because they cannot rely on the default intestacy laws.
I love it. MileHighEstatePlanning.com. Stay on. We're going to get to all of your calls, please. Cindy, that means you. Tina, that means you.
At all.
Like, that's exactly what happened.
That you want to take care of your own kids.
Why would that be stingy?
No, Tom asked, does that seem stingy?
Of course not. No. They're not your kids.
Well, it's not just that.
They're lucky that you fucking even talk to them.
I'm just going out there to but then we'll trade.
Okay. You gotta tell these kids where it's at.
That's what complicated my dad's trust.
I bet.
Well,
I know of our case.
I'm
sure it happens. Where they don't do that.
If you want to wait through that
I
before you
would
leave.
love to wait.
All right.
Hey,
perfect.
Daphne, did you get a hold of those people?
I did.
Were they all said good?
I said you'll get in touch with them on Tuesday. It's not going to work for Gary. Is that
was
the
there
first
an
guy?
opportunity yet, Blake? I was in now
to
explain,
well,
to
he
explain to
just
people
said
what
Tuesday.
probate is?
I said you were just going to reach out on Tuesday to
Does
schedule.
that come up yet? Okay.
Well, no, we've on previous shows we've talked about.
Unless somebody wants to do it on Monday.
Death probate.
Wants to just call on Monday, that's fine.
I don't have time to
really a misunderstood
and you don't either.
what the hell it even is.
What?
Well, I was just saying people have heard the word probate, but many people don't understand what it is.
I wish they'd say, what's probate? Is that a Greek word or?
What is?
Probate.
I don't know that.
I don't know.
All that
probate.
All that shit's Greek.
To prove.
Latin.
Is that what it means to prove?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you prove the will?
Gotcha.
Because will's not real documents until you pass
What happens
away.
if there's 2 wills?
The most recent one is the
Signed
one.
at the exact same time.
That's impressive.
Wearing the same shoes.
Two signatures, both hands.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be whichever one the beneficiaries would prefer to have.
It would one sign with the right hand and one with the left hand.
If you want to stay for a little while longer, you can. You can stay till 2. You can stay till 1. You can take this question and go. What works for you?
Could I run downstairs to the first floor and check with my assistant and then come back?
Absolutely. I'll have Hiram take you down real quick. Okay.
All right.
And is your assistant?
Why don't we do that now?
Should I do that?
Your assistant can sit in
Do it
there.
now. Tom will wait
your
for you.
assistant up here?
Well, Hiram put him downstairs.
No, bring him. He can sit right over there.
I think
Yeah, we got
Bring
real
the
well,
Well, bring him up.
You got to try the peanut butter whiskey. It's good.
I'm not trying to.
I've got the owner coming. No?
Yeah, Blake, bring him up.
Okay.
Yeah, bring him up,
Go
Blake.
check with his assistant. Okay.
Oh my God, it smells strong. At least give me a hint though. What the hell's
Whiskey.
this?
No, I only brought a little bit. Only enough
I
for...
can't
You
do
can't?
it. No.
We'll give one for Blake.
Thank you.
Tom was like, this is...
One sip.
Tom goes, oh my gosh, this is the best thing
I'll
I've
smell
ever
it. I won't smell the jug. One sip
You're
and
all
I
out of it?
I am.
Oh, shit!
Do you like
Mark
it?
will give you
I'm
some.
not gonna crack
give it
another
to me.
one.
Mark, if you don't like it, give it to me. I love it. Are you
I
shitting
told
me?
you.
This is
That's
the
a little,
greatest stuff I've ever
I don't know if you
tasted.
want to taste it.
Why not?
It's a peanut
Oh
butter
my
whiskey.
God! It's no, you don't want it.
He's
Give
a
me that.
lush.
I've got the
I hate
owner.
whiskey.
I've
Look
got
at all
hate
you
whiskey.
lushes.
I have
Can you
the-
believe this shit, Clint? They're all lushes.
Mark, I have the co-owner
don't like it?
Screwball Whiskey coming on.
It's
You're
good.
a real, see, he's a real whiskey drinker.
If you
That's
put
why he doesn't.
Chambord in it,
No,
If you-
because real whiskey drinkers, it doesn't taste anything like whiskey.
it's not. If
That's
you
why
put a
you- I
little
don't drink
Chambord
whiskey.
in
What are
it,
you
peanut
talking
butter
about?
jelly.
See, if we don't get steaks,
Mark.
we got to go to whiskey.
You know,
Whiskey?
you drink
I can do whiskey.
No.
You guys are...
Occasionally, I'll have some bourbon.
It is
My
good.
God,
it
it
is
it tastes like a liqueur.
And it
smells
gives,
like
you're,
peanut
you're right.
They can
You're
sit
right.
in
That's
here.
what
It
it
tastes like a
Or they
liqueur.
control
With the
it, whatever
burn.
they want
I
to
bet
do.
there's a lot of carbs in that.
I'll text with her.
Yeah,
See what
Well,
she's
we don't know
comfortable
that.
downstairs, but they're sure welcome up here.
That's definitely made with peanut butter.
But sugar, alcohol, and peanut butter is low in carbs.
Peanut butter is very high.
But it's got that nice burn.
Mark, it is not very high.
Well,
maybe
but-
Skippy with sugar in it.
exactly. That. What do you think that's made with?
Peanut
Well, I
butter.
don't know.
We'll have 'em up.
If you have the natural.
My guess is you just put down 3,000 carbs.
Oh, you're full of
I think
shit.
peanut butter's on the health food list, isn't it?
Your blood sugar right now is spiking so high, I see it coming out of your ears.
So you're gonna be drinking whiskey from now on every show.
Peanut butter whiskey.
Peanut butter whiskey.
I could use this peanut butter whiskey on a cold day.
You could be
Oh,
like
yes,
you
that'd
could
be
be
good.
like Hal and Charlie.
Have you ever had? Listen. Have you ever had a hot buttered rum? Oh my God! You can do it. You can't. I didn't know how to do it, but you can do it.
All right, true
Hold on,
story.
Mark. With your vanilla ice cream, because you need ice cream.
Oh, my
so
ice
your
cream's
vanilla.
so good.
Listen, you do rum, you do that vanilla ice cream and butter, and holy shit, you warm it up. It'll
We,
try.
And it's
we
not good
were
for you.
we were going to church, Suzanne and I, with Tom and his wife years ago, Donna. So we show up over at their house. We're meeting at their house, and we're going to go to church. So we get over there. He pulls me into the kitchen, and we start doing shots of whiskey at 8:30 in the morning
Before church.
Is that usually what you
That
do
was our
before you go to
ritual.
church?
I don't quite remember it that way. I think we partook in bread and wine.
You also had some crackers.
I think we did the Eucharist, but he's it's the body and blood, but he's saying he remembers whiskey.
You had some crackers with it.
The body of Christ.
But he didn't tell you the part where we charmed the snakes after we got there.
You just got out of the lion's den.
Now, impact traffic.
It's going to be a long church service. You better be prepared.
I brought my kids to church one time. When I was going to this one church, when this black pastor would scream,
That's fun.
yeah, and my kids were like this, like that.
They wouldn't go, yeah.
Black churches are fun.
No, I've been to one like that.
It's funny. I never called them a black church before until I went there, because there were spattered like little Q-tips all around, and it was more fun than I ever had. But then the guy got in trouble.
What do you get in trouble for?
His wife claimed he cheated on him, a parishioner, and all that. So they substituted him, and so it just wasn't as much fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
Or you go some of those churches, those big ones and stuff. It's like a theater group.
We were experimenting, and that's what I call it. It's a production. They fuck. I don't like.
Oh, those ones down the mega
they have
churches.
smoke machines, man. They have smoke machines.
That one in Focus on the Family down there.
Yeah, in Colorado Springs.
Do they have smoke machines and stuff?
I'm sure they do.
Well,
I've never been.
Foothills down up there on.
Somebody I know down there works on the
I mean, it's like a concert. It's like a concert.
Oral Roberts used to do stuff like that.
You know,
he was kind of boring.
I think he would actually. Didn't he do healings?
Do they? Where they put it on? I've seen that where they put it on their hand on there. They put it on their head and they go.
And then all of a sudden the wheelchair's gone and they're doing jumping jacks.
I cannot stand that shit.
But they do it like this. They go.
Hey, the old revivals in the
I'd like
tents,
to
those
go
were
and
shows.
truly do a follow up on that.
I'd like to do an investigation on that because that's bullshit.
Yeah, it is, I'm sure.
They're probably plants.
I think miracles have happened.
Well, I think people are psychosomatically healed.
Sure,
Yes.
sure.
Well,
Because
it's like that wacko
They believe so deeply.
Well, that wacko that we had in here. I mean, what he would do
But
is
if
he would tell the old people, "You feel healed, don't you?"
If
Knock you.
You're healed, right?
No, but if I truly had healing power, you wouldn't have to believe it.
No,
Sure. No.
no, you would just be healed.
Oh, that's why I'm doing so well today. I've been healed.
I'll take credit. I healed you.
Have a good day.
I mean, I had Stephanie walk up to people in line. You look sad, may I pray for you? It's like she puts her hand on her shoulder. I'm going.
Yeah, but she makes them feel better.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What is going on? We have a lot to talk about. We go another 2 hours. I call this the new Troubleshooter Show because we have from 10 to noon, then noon to 2. And, of course, if you're listening around the clock, you can always call 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. This hour brought to you by the CBD products that work. I love that saying. That's my saying. I'm going to trademark it, right? I officially trademark it today on October 17, 2019 at 12:07. It's copyrighted right now. The CBD products that work. HelpMyPainCBD.com. I made that up. They're actually PanaceaLife.com. Either one will get you there. Because they said, Tom, when you say HelpMyPainCBD.com, people may not go there for sleeplessness or anxiety, and it helps for that stuff. Anyway, also, I want to tell you about Blake. He's here. Susan's got a question, or Tim's got a question for Blake. Oh, Susan's got a question for Blake, too. Blake Harris. He does MileHighEstatePlanning.com. So let's go to Tina. Tina, what is your question?
You said Tina?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, I am a personal representative of my parents' stuff, and the last one passed away, and I had to put an informal probate in Jesco County because I guess everything wasn't zipped up.
Before we go on, I just want to know, what is an informal probate? What is it, Blake?
So when you open probate, there are two options. You can either do formal probate or informal probate. Informal probate just means that the judge is not going to supervise your actions, that you don't need to ask for court approval before moving forward in each step of the process. It's generally the better way to go as long as there are no beneficiaries complaining.
Okay. Go ahead. Keep going now.
Okay, well, the only thing left in this probate is some land that's in New Mexico that isn't worth really anything, and I don't know if I could be able to sell it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do because I'm confused, you know?
Okay, now, that's a good one.
So you're wondering about selling out-of-state property. Probate is only going to give you, the Denver court can only give you the power to administer property within the state of Colorado. So you're going to have to hire a probate attorney or work through the probate court down in the state where the out-of-state property is.
Can you do stuff like that? Do they recognize Denver attorneys or Colorado attorneys?
No, I can help out-of-state people from different states with Colorado probate. Beneficiaries that live in different
states. But they don't have reciprocity for this kind of stuff?
No, not typically.
Oh, okay.
No, I would refer you to someone I would recommend someone who actually specializes and knows the court system down there. Someone who's worked through probate a few times in that area.
Blake, what happens if she just walks away from that property?
Well, I want to talk about that separately.
That's what I'd like to do.
I want to talk about that separately right now, okay? Tina's problem is one. Okay, but there are others where it's complicated, and this is what I tell people. First of all, like I don't like when the timeshare people say, if you don't get rid of the timeshare, by the way, they suck, you should get rid of them, but they say if you don't get rid of them, your heirs will be stuck with it. And heirs don't have to be stuck with anything.
Correct.
What can they do?
Nobody's going to force you to take an inheritance.
So what do you do?
So what do you do if it's
you just walk away? She can just refuse to administrate, right?
Right, exactly. You only have. Go ahead.
I can walk away and not pay those taxes, and it'll eventually go away then?
You do not have to.
Ideal.
You do not have to probate an out-of-state property. You cannot receive any inheritance from the estate until any debts and creditors' taxes have been.
Yeah, but if you wanted to walk away from everything, you have the option of doing that. No one can force you.
Well, now as a personal representative, you've been appointed by the court, so you would need to get the court to allow you to resign as personal representative.
Yeah, but that's because she already did it.
So
but
how do I do that?
Here, Tina, first, in the beginning, I want to make this clear, Blake. if someone named you personal representative and you do not accept it, you do not have to register or do anything.
Correct.
Okay.
Nobody is forced.
But it's too late now. She already did.
Yeah.
What does she do?
It's now what you can do is you can file with the court. If you want to drop it, you can file something with the court saying that you no longer be personal representative, and the court may let you off.
So
What do they
I
do?
file with
If
the
they don't,
probate court and say I'd like to not be the representative anymore.
Well,
Is that
wait,
what
Tina. Here's the way I look at it. Here's what he'll tell you that in a second what you do. But here's the way I look at it. If you take all the problems and all the good, does it come out to the good at all?
Well, no, this land, nobody wants it. It's the taxes each year is
Okay, because I would say if an estate has value and you don't want it, if an estate has value, could you ever go to an attorney and say this, Mr. Attorney, I'll give you 30, 40, 50%. Just help me through it. Do you ever work on contingency ever?
So I don't necessarily use the term contingency fee, but I will allow in certain cases a delayed payment, just a little bit up front to cover the initial.
Or a lien? Can you put a lien on the estate?
Yes, some attorneys will do that as well. We can put a lien on the estate. Typically what we'll do if the client lacks money is we will take a little bit of money up front, just enough to cover the initial court filing fees. And then once the family home sells, once the estate has liquidity, we can take the balance of payment. So clients, when they're receiving an inheritance, they don't necessarily need to come in with a big check to pay for the entire process of probate up front.
But remember, there has to be value for you to do that. Otherwise, you can't do that.
Well, yes, there has to be some liquidity in the estate, and the attorney is going to want to know that there's some way that they will get paid if
that
they're
there's a
take
pot
it
at the end
on a contingency.
So, Tina, right now, you don't think the estate's really worth anything, right?
It's not an estate. It's 2 pieces of land that's worthless in New Mexico.
How many acres?
One of them is 1 acre, and the other is a .25.
Yeah, you're right.
Tina, is there any property in the state of Colorado? Is there any property in the state of Colorado?
No, there's nothing. All there is, everything was liquidated. First of all, they didn't die until after I sold their house. Okay? So that's not even it. The whole thing is the land.
Okay, I would petition the court to remove yourself as I would request to remove yourself as personal representative. If there's no beneficiaries complaining, the court will probably allow it.
So I asked to be removed from that. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. If you don't want the property, if you don't want to deal with it, I wouldn't just leave it out there because you are now taking a little bit of liability.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Exactly, but I would go ahead and just file something with the court saying that you no longer want to.
Now let's talk about.
How do I file it? Do I call them or just
How about
arrive
this,
over
Tina?
there and ask somebody?
Tina, do you have any money at all to have an attorney do it? I'm not suggesting Blake, but like just to say, here, get me out of this. I mean, to get me out of it. Yeah. Why did you How did you file it to begin with? If you have no knowledge, how did you do that?
Well, there was some money in the bank that ended up not being in the trust.
And what did you do?
Of that, I had to go to Jefferson County, court area.
Yeah.
And
what?
And I just went around and I asked.
Well, that's what you're going to do now. That's exactly what you're going to do now. You're going to go and say, listen, I want to get off. I want to get off this job here. Don't just walk in and say, I want to get off. But tell them you want to get off the estate, and then ask them for the proper form, and then file it. I mean, you know what? Judges are very lenient when it comes to handwritten things from individuals.
This is true. Judges will grant more.
Right, leniency. So you write a letter. You can write a letter to the judge saying, I'd like to be removed as trustee. It's more than I can handle, and I can't afford it. That's all. Now, Susan's got a question for Blake. Susan, I'll get him thinking about it, and we'll answer after the break. What's going on, Susan?
I had a question. When you're coming up with a valuation of an estate when someone's passed away, specifically the tangible personal assets and your home furnishings, how do you calculate? I mean, you have to count everything. Is there an asset test for what gets included and what doesn't? And then who helps you come up with
Great questions. Hold on. We'll come right back and talk all about that.
It's Ross Kaminsky.
Mornings at 5.
Well, this ought to be controversial. Colorado legislators...
That might have been the funniest thing you've said.
I think that went right over her head, too.
Oh, she had no clue.
Of course it did, yeah.
I'm going to go get off. I need to use the restroom.
We figured out who you look like.
All right. Hey, you're better looking. I disagree.
Horseshack. You know who that is?
Oh, yeah.
You've never been told you look like Arnold Horseshack.
You beat the guy at a lunch. You tell me he looks like Horseshack.
I don't think that's...
Don't do the ugly baby joke or I'll kill you. Don't do it.
I have to kill you. I'm going to kill you.
I kill you. I know a guy.
God.
So anyway, when should we look forward to that steak?
When should we look forward to it? It depends on how many calls I get.
Did you bring your assistant up here? I mean,
no, she's got to go do something else.
Oh, okay.
I've got another one back in the office that's still on the phones.
You're really getting initiated today.
God, that was a great show. Welcome Back, Kotter was a great show.
You like it? I didn't hardly ever
I
watch it.
love that show.
Here, you want to see the guy, what you look for?
I love Vinny Barbarino.
Right here.
Vinny!
Do you want to look at him?
Vinny Barbarino.
All right.
Yeah.
It's the hair.
The hair, thin face.
Yeah.
John Travolta, man. Look at him, how young he is there.
Yeah, Vinny Barbarino.
Mr. Kotter.
Mr. Kotter.
Yeah, the big New York accent. I never watched. I've maybe watched one show.
Oh God, I watched probably every episode of that. It was on when I get home from school.
Do you know the movie The Outsiders?
Great movie.
Yeah, great movie. Boy, a lot of those guys became stars from that.
That was about gangs, right?
Yeah,
was that Pony Boy and stuff?
Yeah,
Pony Boy for sure.
Pony Boy never went on to
He took off from the house and he went to live like some other town, man, in some house.
Oh, I just read the book. It was a series?
He was hiding out in a church because he shot somebody.
Yeah, that's right, in a church.
Yeah, because he killed.
In a different town, though.
Yeah.
What was it? Pony Boy? What were the other? They all had
Moose.
One of them was named, was it Coca-Cola or something? His brother?
Coca-Cola.
Soda Pop.
Soda Pop. Yeah.
Soda Pop.
Close.
That's right, actually.
Soda Pop.
It's not actually close.
Root beer. Root beer.
Yeah.
Pepsi.
Dr. Pepper.
Actually, Soda Pop. This is kind of a thing. Was the gang member that Joe Biden said that he met outside the...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, outside the...
That guy's name was Soda Pop, too?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? He didn't have the time to talk, and I said, email me. Yes, movie. On debit card, do you want one in your name? Oh, yes.
Yeah, the outside, I think about 6 of those guys in the Outsider went on to become stars.
It was a
It was absolutely great.
It was a good movie.
It wasn't a musical, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Holy shit! Wait till I tell you an update on Merchants first, Tom.
Okay.
This is gonna blow you away.
Make me happier.
Oh yeah.
It'll get you off.
No, we'll do it on air. It's like just like we do with Compass. How much we're saving this one company is fucking crazy. I don't even know who the company is. Colorado Hearth and Home.
Oh, they're Fireplace.
Well, I assume.
I don't know who they are.
Boy, I'll tell you.
We were in there, not.
You remember when I got you so mad you walked out? He was fucking pissed.
Remember that? I remember.
Yeah, you said something.
I don't even know. I didn't even know you were mad.
Does it stand for physical?
Yeah, physical therapy.
You were only on
the
like
PT
the second
Cruiser.
week
Yeah.
so.
God, you were pissed. I didn't know we left either.
I didn't know you were
I
mad.
called him up.
I don't remember what it was.
I don't either.
You had said something.
I probably said you look like Dan, and that was all you could say.
They didn't do the ugly baby joke, did they?
I don't know the joke.
No.
Okay, good. Never mind.
What was the joke?
Most attorneys could figure that out, though.
This report is sponsored by Discover. We treat
God, wouldn't that be funny to do that to like a diplomat or like Trump, if you could actually get there to ask a question or somebody, or the mayor. The mayor would be good.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover
Hey,
makes a cashback
you've been fucked up enough. Do you have any good physical therapists?
No. They're all the same.
That's a tough way to put it.
Get on the exercise bike.
No, I need to find a PT.
All right, what movie do I want to go see?
Okay, we saw.
What was it?
Oh, the last one we saw was
Joker.
Joker was great. Hey, Judy was really good too. I actually cried at the end.
She's really
You cry all the time.
Fuck yeah, I do.
Judy
It was
Garland.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
Corn pop, not soda pop.
303-713 Talk. Okay, so what the hell? We're talking about personal assets, tangible assets, evaluation at death. Susan, you want to know, how do you put a value on things left in the estate? First of all, I have a question. Why do you have to put a value?
Well, so when you fill out the probate paperwork. They're going to ask for a list of assets that the decedent owned at the time of their death. They're going to ask for cars. They're going to ask for real estate. They're going to ask for money in the bank account, and they're going to ask for tangible personal property.
Okay, and can't you just guess?
And yes, you can just guess, and it depend. I mean, you can guess if there are no beneficiaries that are going to complain about your guessing. If you've got a family that's going to be fighting over every single item in the home, you need to be very detailed in your list of assets. If you have a family where nobody really cares about the stuff that mom left behind.
So, Susan, what is it in your case?
Well, I would just, I've been researching this for a while.
No, I'm asking, are you going to have, Susan,
This
first
is a
question, are you going to have a bunch of people arguing?
No.
Okay, keep going, Susan. What else were you saying?
This is just like the one area that nobody ever seems to get into the nitty-gritty of, other than hire an appraiser to help you come up with a value. So, I was just curious, are some things you don't even have to include? Because
Well, let's put it this way. If the exemption is $10 million, what do you care? Just put a number on it. Or is that doesn't count? What, Blake?
Well, no, I mean, this is probably not a taxable estate, so as far as the amount that you put on it, it really doesn't matter as long as any of the other beneficiaries don't complain.
Right. You don't want to put too high of a value on it, so if someone says, I want half of that, and you don't want to put too low, but it doesn't matter if you're the only one. How many heirs are there?
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at maybe 4.
And are you all sisters, brothers, friends, what?
Do you get along?
Family, yeah.
Do the 4 of you all get along?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any particular items that anybody's really after?
No.
Okay. You can just put just estimate as best as you can. Share that information.
Yeah,
with the
go
other,
on eBay, go anywhere, just figure it out.
And then share that estimate with the other beneficiaries. And if none of them object, give them an opportunity to complain. And if none of them complain,
just put it on there.
Then you shouldn't have any liability.
So
okay, so if you basically have already created a list and saved receipts because you've been creating an inventory for your insurance coverage, would those values pretty much hold?
I imagine the value would pretty much the same.
You don't have any, if you don't have antiques, you don't
estate
have
value is listen, I do know this. Estate value is considered liquidation, meaning it's different. It is a little different than insurance. Liquidation value is if a place went in there and auctioned everything off. So it is a little more of a fire sale than insurance, but it won't matter. Really, because it's going to be worth whatever you sell it for. And if you're not selling it and you're distributing it, then the 4 of you, as long as you are all in agreement that the TV's worth this and the couch is worth that, then you can distribute the property. Are you guys going to sell the property or distribute the property?
The house would probably be sold.
I'm talking about the tangible personal assets.
It would probably be distributed.
Okay.
Or given to,
All right.
Anytime you give someone, just have them sign off and recognize that what they received
was worth X amount.
Oh, okay.
Here's what you want at the end. You want, if the will says they all get the same, you want those 4 people, you and 3 others, to agree that the property they got is satisfactory, and they don't think Mary got more.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not in the process of settling anybody's estate. I'm just asking for curiosity and what you can do ahead of time.
Oh, good.
Try and document stuff for.
Well, what you should do if you have time to plan ahead is to create a revocable living trust, so you don't need to go through the probate court at all after your loved one passes away.
Yeah, but someone said that David, another attorney, said that you still have to value the estate, even if you have a trust.
Of course.
I'm assuming the personal tangible assets get counted in that valuation also.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But what he's saying is it still saves trouble. You see, people say, why a trust? You could probably do a trust if it's not complicated and stay out of probate, and it's the same dollars.
Okay.
But you have to do it ahead of time. And a complicated trust, I don't know, trust can be complicated. What would make a trust complicated?
It depends on the number of beneficiaries and the type of assets that you're putting in the trust and what type of protections you are building in. A standard revocable living trust is not going to be super complicated, but if you want to get in and have some asset protection features or protection from a Medicaid spin down, then the trust does get more complicated.
All right. Hold on. We got more from... let me see who's been holding a while. Frank. Hey, Frank. What's going on?
Tom, I was listening to your show a 3 days ago. You had a lady on that had a Generac generator,
Yes.
that she bought new out of
It
the
was,
box.
yeah, she had a gen rack for her home, and she said it was not working consistently. I came to the conclusion it was underpowered and not wired properly. Go ahead.
Well, I have a 2004 Lance camper with a Generac generator in it.
Yeah, RVs use those all the time.
Right, and having problem with it. I only have 56 hours on it, but when I crank it up and it's about 20 degrees outside, it does not want to run. And when I hold the start switch down, it will finally run after I hold it down maybe 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, is it gas or diesel?
It's a propane.
Oh, propane. All right. And what kind of oil do you have in it?
What kind of what?
What kind of oil do you have in it?
I think it's the 5W30. It's the original. I changed the oil once, but it's the same oil that came in it.
Okay. Okay. Good. That's a good oil. And it could be air in the propane line, and not a good propane source. Does it do it every single start?
No, I just started it a few minutes ago with the temperature right now, and it's running fine.
It's only it only happens with temperature, not with longevity, or not with long pauses in between.
That's what mine is doing.
Okay.
However, I have been trying to find somebody to work on it, and nobody in this town works on it. Spitzer Electric told me that it was junk at this point because they figured the control board was going out of it. I found
that's not true at all. You can replace almost every component. Clint, you've dealt with these a lot. What would make a generator not start in cold weather? I mean, I think it's just a good old-fashioned won't start tune-up kind of thing. I don't know.
Propane doesn't evaporate very well in cold.
Propane.
It has in the past. Right,
I understand. You're saying, and it could be your supply of propane, believe it or not. How long has that supply of propane been in there?
I've changed it out, and it does the same thing.
Okay, good. You've done a lot of good troubleshooting. And the generator has 56 hours. I think your generator simply needs adjustment and tuning. I really do. And you need to find someone to work on them, and you say you can. Any small motor shop can work on them. Who have you called? I mean, I can't believe you can't find a Generac. They're very common. I can't believe you can't find a Generac service place or someone who knows about them.
There's not one in this town. There's a Generac dealer up at all on Broadway, I believe it is, just north of DOW. And I asked them the other day if they worked on them. They said, nope, the only thing we work on are the commercials. But there's nobody in this town that works on this one. And I went online, and Generac has quit servicing this unit. So I've done a lot of homework.
Maybe it was a bad one. You know, I can't tell you that. I'm just Googling Generac service. But you're saying even if I find it in Denver, it's going to be for the commercial only, right?
Well, that's what he told me up there, and he was a Generac dealer. And I went online to do a lot of research, and I'm finding that a lot of people are having a lot of trouble with these Generac generators. And I must have found 100 entries in this one website. And now a lot of them are talking about the low-pressure oil switch is the problem, and they're just
Listen, here's what I'll do. Here's what I'll do, Frank. Anyone listening who knows anything about Generac or where to have them serviced, we're talking about the domestic kind, not the big commercial kind. We're talking about an RV. Correct. And how many kilowatt is it, or how many watts? What is it?
It's the 34 LP. It's, I think, about 4,000 watts.
4,000 watts, 4 kilowatts. Okay, 4,000 watts. Now, if anyone knows about these, give us a call. Daphne, if you could get his information so we can contact him off the air, we'll figure it out. Or keep listening, Frank, for someone. Cindy wants to talk about a problem with a mechanic. Dylan has bankruptcy questions. And then we're going to talk about a new product which kind of took us by surprise. We don't normally talk about alcohol, but this thing kind of blew our mind.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Ross Kaminsky in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon, 6:30 KHO.
Yeah, first.
I've never had one. They've always been on gas or diesel. I've never had one on propane.
Oh no, almost all gas can go on propane.
Yeah, I know, but I've never owned one.
Right? What is it?
All of them I've ever had in RVs and stuff always ran on either gas or gasoline or diesel. I've just never had one.
I can't hear you.
Propane's simple.
Yeah, it's the easiest. I got a picture of that screwball whiskey too, if you want to talk about it. Is that a local?
Do we have any paper? Oh, we have paper towels. Good.
Where? I just heard.
Daffodil, can you bring me a paper towel? Not an emergency, but I need it kind of.
Down the drawer. Bottom drawer.
There should be some in here.
Okay, never mind. Never mind, Daff. We have some.
Also, what happened to the ones I put up here?
I think Mark took them, I think.
Oh, let's talk about Integra Insurance. This is one client that I advertise for that truly everyone, every single person, whether you're in business, whether you're an individual, whether you're on Medicare, whether not, whether you're going to go on the exchange, whether you're going to go off the exchange, Integra Insurance. They are health insurance brokers. You don't pay a penny more using them, and they do all the work and find out the best solution for you. It's health insurance made simple and smart. Don't get caught in the maze. Open enrollment November 1st to January 15th. The only time you can make changes in your coverage unless you have a life-changing event. Trust me, it is the time you want to shop insurance and you want Integra to do it for you. IntegraInsurance.com. 466-5500. 303-466-5500.
We just had somebody on Facebook say that right before that how much they love Integra.
Oh, excellent.
Twins have to be fun.
Twins are very fun. Once they're two, the first 2 years are rough.
Oh, I imagine. Totally different personalities or similar?
This guy says Spectrum Electric out of Conifer does service work on Generac generators.
Generac. It could not be.
Spectrum.
How many, what was the watts?
4,000. 4 kilowatts.
It might not be worth shit, man.
That's small one, isn't it?
I mean, what's a new Predator cost? $400 or $500?
No, more than that.
Is that Harbor Freight Predator?
Yeah. Yep. It's a knockoff of the Honda. It's quiet as shit. I got one.
Do you have an auto start on yours? My voltage goes down in your...
Oh, you mean on the in the RV? I might actually.
Okay.
I've never used a generator. I'm always
So
plugged
Brittany
in.
is up on line 7, the co-founder of
I don't know
Screwball,
if I have
and I sent you an
Mark.
email with her bio.
Mark, yes.
Okay, I got the picture.
Just know this.
Thank you.
Hey, Daph, we didn't get any free liquor, right?
Oh, no, I bought that.
Okay.
That is mine.
Could I get some free stuff?
No, this is my liquor. Why'd you
buy it?
I brought it. I bought it at the liquor store by King Super.
I mean, do they sell it everywhere?
Not all of them, but I Googled the liquor stores, and I found that my liquor store carried it. Disco.
Oh, man, the movie I want to see does not start till 7 o'clock.
Wow. Okay, is the Predator that you're talking about the little ones
But listen,
4K?
Mark.
So like there.
Mark,
They have all
do
different
me a favor,
sizes.
Mark.
530.
Mark,
But this is a little one.
run your generator at least once a month.
That's a good idea.
And put a load on it.
Well,
no, do it.
No, I do run it. But here's when. Usually when we're driving, if I want her to make me some coffee, I got to kick it on while we're driving.
But you should run it for about a half hour and put a load on it.
That I never do, but I should.
Well, I thought you started.
Now,
only you're loaded.
Now here's the other thing. My bus, when we were dry camping, you would run on batteries.
Yeah.
And when batteries got to a certain level, it would kick on the generator, then kick it off again. So it only ran when you wanted it to.
We have, the other thing I just discovered is our refrigerators is a regular refrigerator. You know, there's no propane. And the interesting part is it runs off an inverter just like you would buy in a car. And that runs off the batteries.
Right.
So it'll last about 2 days on batteries. But what it did is it somehow drew down my starting battery. Okay?
It's not, there's isolated.
Well, I'm telling you. Well, then something else drew down my starting battery. What I always contribute.
It's your parasitic drive.
Well, yeah, okay. So, but I didn't realize I got a button on my dash that takes the main group of batteries
and isolates.
And you hit that, and it dumps the power into the starting battery so you can start.
But it's temporary. It's called a momentary switch.
Yeah, you got to hold the switch, which was really cool because I would have had to jump start that son of a bitch.
No, they all have that. I think they all, but the higher end do. But on your whenever I had mine stored,
you know what I think?
Whenever I had mine stored, Mark, I plugged it into 110 for the parasitic.
Mine's almost always plugged in.
Good.
Now that my garage is done.
But don't keep. Okay, good. But I wouldn't keep. Okay. I wouldn't keep a lot on, but keep it on. Slow.
No, I actually kill the refrigerator. That's the one pain in the ass.
Leave the door open.
I gotta literally hit the what do you call it? The fuse.
Harbor Freight is amazing.
The fucking, you know what? The other thing might have hurt the battery was the steps, because the steps actually run off of the.
And you can turn those off.
Yeah, there's a switch.
So they're always out or always in.
Or always in. Yeah. Always in would be weird though. Someone would walk out of that fucker.
Look at this guy here on Harbor Freight. Oh, go ahead.
You know the number one thing that I have seen in RV parks that I can't believe? People leave their fucking, I hit a button, this beautiful thing comes out and covers the entire bus, the canopy. It's all electric. People leave those open and the wind fucking rips them off. I have seen more of those ripped off than I can't fucking believe.
The bus ones?
Yep.
Well,
they'll forget to put it in at night.
Mine had a wind thing. And it would
automatically?
That's cool.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Quickly, listen, I never do this, but when we find new products that blows our mind, we bring people on the radio. And here's what I want to say first and foremost. This is not a commercial. I'm not promoting drinking. I'm not promoting drinking and driving. I'm not promoting anything. It's just that this thing was so unusual. Now, having whiskey flavors is not unusual. I'm not a whiskey drinker. In fact, I can't stand it. But this stuff was like candy, and it scares the hell out of me because it's like candy. But, and again, it's not the vape thing where they're attracting kids. It's not bubblegum flavor or anything. But this is a peanut butter whiskey. I've never heard of such a thing. Brittany, Brittany Merrill Yang, co-founder of Screwball. I want to ask you something. Screwball whiskey, yeah. Do you do more than peanut butter flavors?
Well, first, thank you for having us on. It's all about peanut butter whiskey. Screwball is going to be synonymous with that, we hope. But yeah, we don't have any other flavors.
Why peanut butter? Why peanut butter?
No, peanut butter, it really, for my husband, so me and my husband co-founded this company, and we launched about a year ago. And really, it was a personal thing to him. When he came to America after coming as a refugee, he came from Cambodia. They don't have peanut butter there. So it was one of the first foods he tried when he was in America. To him, it's
he fell in love with peanut butter. So you guys decided to do a peanut butter whiskey.
Yeah, he's been doing peanut butter in everything. He owned restaurants before and would put them with chicken wings, with everything.
That's a cool story. That is a cool story. Hey, I need to ask this though. Seriously, this stuff is incredible. And again, I'm not plugging this. We're not getting anything free. I want to make that clear. This is just a curiosity we had. It tastes like a liqueur almost. It's so delicious, like a liqueur. What is the difference between a whiskey and a liqueur anyway? I don't even know.
It really would be, there's kind of, I'm not even going to go into, there's a very complicated, the way the federal government and the state government regulates those things. I don't even want to begin to be an expert in that. But generally speaking, you have a whiskey. It has it's the grain and the way the alcohol is there, and then the liqueur is going to be different. It's going to be a different alcohol content and all of that. So we use a full American whiskey base and then add our flavors to it.
And what's the website?
So it's screwballwhiskey.com. And I appreciate what you said about you're not normally a whiskey drinker. I think that was for me, why I was so excited about getting this product to market was we just saw people that were not your traditional whiskey drinkers and getting excited. And so, it's one of those things that we can have a drink that we can all get together and enjoy.
It sounds like it would be a winter. You can warm it up too. It sounds like a winter drink in coffee. Really, I mean, it's.
Oh, yep. Well, I don't know. We call that the morning screw because it's a screwball with.
Okay. All right. And so you've thought of that already. So listen, really, there was nothing more other than to just ask why the heck this happened, and you answered it. And it's just weird. We all had a little tiny taste test. We're not here drunk, but it's the most unusual thing. Now I've heard of other whiskey flavors, by the way, and when I tasted it, I thought, okay, yeah, that's okay. But this was like weird. I mean, this was truly like something I've never.
No, I mean, most people when they hear peanut butter whiskey, their face it's the reactions are across the board, right? There's people that love peanut butter and love whiskey, but think that you're just creating, it's sacrilegious to put them together. There's people that love them both and want to combine them, and there's people like you that don't necessarily like whiskey, and it intrigues them. And I think what we found is we've found that it's not just a flavored whiskey. It seems to be a category. We seem to have found something that is a little bit separate from the flavored whiskey category, like you're saying.
Yeah. Well, the best to you, Brittany. Thank you very much. And again, I just thought it was cool, Screwball Whiskey. There's no goal or object to that call at all. We have a bankruptcy questions here from Dylan. Dylan, what's going on with you? Hello, Dylan.
Hey, Tom.
What's
I'm just trying to figure out if bankruptcy is the best option for me. I'm getting my paycheck garnished from two different sources right now.
Now, two different sources added up can't be more than 25%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if one got there first, they take it all usually, and they don't leave room for anyone else. And then when that one's over, the second one takes it. But if you have two taking it, they can't add up to more than 25% of gross.
Okay. Well,
or net. I'm not sure what it is, gross or net. But anyway, I'm not absolute,
right.
But it's 25%. So check on that. But tell us your situation, Dylan.
Well, I actually went into treatment for alcoholism. I actually called you guys a few months ago to thank you for kind of.
Oh, that's great. And you were just listening to peanut butter whiskey. I'm sorry, but
yeah, no, it's cool, man.
Yeah,
hey, alcohol is everywhere in our society.
Yeah, I know.
No big deal. But no, I'm kind of cleaning up, man, from you know just making poor decisions.
So let's talk about what is your status right now as far as bills?
Well, I mean, I'm barely making enough right now, really, just to pay my normal bills, like rent.
Well, hold on. I'm asking how many bills do you have? Not regular recurring bills, but balances.
Oh, I would probably say 6 to 8 different ones.
Like, give me an idea. Give me some numbers.
Yeah, like 20 grand. How much?
Yeah, so I owe about $5,000 to a bank. I owe.
Wait, what's that? What's the bank loan?
So that was for a personal loan and a credit card.
Got you. What else?
I have several different medical bills, most of them stemming from my son.
What do they all add up? What do they all add up to?
I don't know exactly, but if I was to put an estimate on it, I'd say 10 to 15 grand minimum.
Okay, what else?
Well, I do still owe the treatment center that I went to back in February.
How much is that?
That's about $3,500.
Okay. What else?
And other than that,
do you own a home?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you have any savings?
No, I have a little bit in my 401k, but not a lot.
Are you married?
I am.
And does your wife work?
Yes.
Okay. So you are talking about $55,000 in debt, basically.
Why not do a chapter 7?
Listen, I mean, I'm not going to judge you one way or the other. I want to ask you this. What is your total take-home a year? What is your salary?
Right now, it's probably somewhere between 40 and 50. My base pay is 40. I work in sales, and lately, just because of the changes in the company, commissions have been hard to come by, so I haven't really been making a lot.
So about 40 grand, and that's being garnished, right?
Yeah.
By who? By which one of those bills?
So I believe the first one is stemming from a medical bill because my wife called to make a payment, and they said that they were going to be garnishing my paycheck.
All right, listen, man. Okay, now you're asking my opinion. Yeah, I would do a bankruptcy.
Okay.
Yeah, you have nothing. You have nothing they can take. Nothing to say. What is your transportation? You got a lot of equity in it?
No, we have an 08
in his
Mercedes
case,
SUV.
what's ironic is there is no downside. Think of any downside he'd have. I assume his credit's already trashed for other reasons. Is that correct?
Surprisingly, because I lost my truck about a year and a half, 2 years ago, so we're down to one vehicle, and I went to try and get a loan to see if I could get another one. I did get approved. They wanted an ungodly amount down, and
What was hold on? What was your hold on? What was your credit score?
My FICO was a 635. I couldn't believe it.
Well, listen, man, that's not great, but I'm not encouraging you to do it, but you should talk to an attorney about it.
Why wouldn't he do it, though? Can you think of one reason why he shouldn't do it?
No, I can't. But you're going to have people listening saying, why don't you just pay your bills? Okay, Mark, we have those. And by the way, I don't want to get into this. I do not want to get into a moral discussion, but here's what I want to say. Our founding fathers had nothing to do with morality when they did bankruptcy laws. It had to do with bettering the economy. Now, you're going to say, how the hell does that happen? Okay, let me just go over it very quickly mathematically. When somebody is in in a terrible, dire situation, and they owe a ton of money, you have this person out of commission, and they're paying a few. Not the many, because they can't distribute their money to the many because they're in debt to a few. Now, if you have a bunch of people like that, the economy stagnates. So the idea is if you free someone up, not only do the people get a tax break who can't collect, but the debtor now is freed up and can now pay the many instead of the few, and his money actually circulates wider through the economy. Like it or not, I don't give a damn, okay? I don't care if you like it. I'm not promoting it. I'm telling you that's the way it is.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. We treat you.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to chime in on. I mean,
do you do bankruptcy?
No, I don't do bankruptcy. I do have bankruptcy. Clients who think they need a bankruptcy attorney sometimes need an asset protection attorney, and more often asset protection clients need a bankruptcy attorney.
Is that Frank still on?
That's kind of the...
Frank, no, Daphne found a guy.
Okay, good. That's because somebody's on Facebook said that the place does it.
Yeah, she found a guy that he called.
I'm just going to have Suzanne will send me a bill automatically out of TSN
I don't think any
each
small
month
income place that does lawnmowers.
for
The only thing if they're not using propane, but like I said, propane's normally easier. These Generacs got carburetor, right? They're not fuel injected, I assume. They're carburetor.
I don't know. It depends how old it is. I don't start the carburetor on anything anymore.
American Restoration 24/7. This is a place you need to use if you've experienced a storm, flood, fire, a freeze, chemical contamination, whatever it is. You need American Restoration 24/7 in an industry that is absolutely riddled with liars, cheats, and ripoffs. Rock and his team, they're environmental scientists, plus they are mitigators, plus even rebuilders if you need them. 833-7-AM-REST. 833-7-AM-REST. Online, amrest247.com.
Boy, that Will Smith movie didn't get shit for ratings.
No.
I don't think I'll see it.
What's the name?
Guess what AMC just launched? You have to be part of their membership like we are there, Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
But you can watch most of the brand new movies on demand in your own house now.
Whoa.
Wait, are you shitting me? That kind of takes some of the allure out of it for me. It's convenient.
Brand new?
They're pretty new. They're all still in theaters.
First runs? Wow.
You know what?
They're all still in theaters.
Then hold on a second. I wonder if someday all of that will be distributed that way. Could you imagine?
Meters will go to nothing.
Really think about it. If you don't have to go, if you're willing to pay that to go somewhere,
yeah, but
why wouldn't you be willing to pay that at home for a one-time viewing of a first-run movie?
Most of them are $6 too, $5.99, and you figure at home you're not paying per person.
Then it would be box office sales at home, basically, the home box office.
Yeah, but these are all still in theaters. Well, some of them are out, but a lot of them are still in theaters.
2 gig hard drive from him.
Now these might be all movies they have something to do with. Now that I'm looking at them,
no commercials or first-run movies, and they're taken right off the thing.
As long as he doesn't sell them, it's not.
Like Judy is not available yet.
Well, actually,
so they're not all there. I don't see
yeah.
Judy, but I see Child's Play, Hobbs and Shaw. That's still in.
He's giving us gifts, so I guess it's not commercially.
We could probably look at that.
Stuber, that's still in. We saw that. I thought.
Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4.
I like Toy Story movies.
What was the Will Smith movie you're talking about that's so bad?
Well, I don't know if it's bad. It's just the ratings.
Well,
Gemini Man.
It's the one with his twin.
Yeah, he plays 2 roles.
Gemini
I think I don't like movies where people do that. Not just him, but Ad Astra, I did not like. Fucking boring.
What was that about?
Oh, I heard.
It's Brad Pitt. He's a astronaut. His dad went on a long journey. I think it was Mars, maybe Saturn. I don't remember where.
And did what?
They were like setting up a colony and other stuff, and they basically vanished. Zombieland I want to see, but it doesn't start till 7 p.m. tonight.
Zombieland? There is a Zombieland. Zombieland 2?
If we don't got callers,
Zombieland 2, man. It's got the exact same cast.
Oh, really? I love Zombieland.
Harrelson, it's everybody. It's the same girls.
Good.
It's going to be, it'll do great.
Good.
But if you haven't seen Joker, you want to go see it.
I saw Joker. I love Joker.
I'm going to forward this to you if you get some free time and stuff with a question on a state.
Lucy in the
help.
Sky.
I'll send it to you on your email.
Oh. My wife worked with mental health people. She loved that movie because of
Which one?
Joker. Because of how realistic his descent into madness was.
Yep. It was really good.
Have you seen Joker yet?
Nope.
Oh,
He's not
God,
a movie
you.
guy.
Oh, well.
But the best movie of the year, according to Tom, is Downton Abbey. Because,
what?
Because the forks are off.
The staff did not separate the forks by 1/8 of an inch. And the Queen said off with his head. And that was
supposed to be a 1/4 inch.
So they're
back in the day, the Queen really would say off with their head, right? And that would be it.
I don't know. I really don't know.
So they actually went by inches versus back in the day, because they weren't on metric, were they?
No.
I don't know.
Hate the metric system.
Love it. We'd be a better society with the metric system.
Oh,
it's so much easier.
Sorry, bro.
Oh, you're wrong.
I'll tell you the one thing that is...
That's because that is why you're not an engineer.
The one thing we came up with that beats everybody in the world. The Dewey Decimal System, baby.
Love Dewey.
Love the Dewey Decimal System.
Dewey's pretty good.
I want to redo everything and use the Dewey Decimal
The imperial system is crazy. How many inches in a foot? 12. How many feet in a yard? 3. How many yards in a mile? It just...
How many ounces in a cup?
6.
No, wrong.
Depends what size cup you have.
Yeah, that's true.
How come people always say, hey, can you get me a cup of coffee? Not once has anybody actually had a cup of coffee.
Yes, I have. You're saying, and all the time, no one's actually had a cup with the amount in there.
That's right.
I think you're wrong.
Prove it. Show me one.
Bring them a measuring cup.
Show me one.
Bring them a measuring cup. No, I agree with you. Our system is so crazy.
It is crazy. They should have done that. In fact, Washington had the ability to go to it.
I know.
Well, hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. What's on your mind today? How can we help you? We ask that every single day. One Clear Choice Garage Doors is a way you can help yourself. Get the free inspection from Martino, for Martino listeners. They go through the hinge bolts, the cables, the safety adjustments, and all of that free, but you got to mention Martino. Of course, they have garage door openers starting at $333. They have garage doors. They're the best in garage door service. OneClearChoiceDoors.com.
Hey.
I use them. I love them. I love the Sidewinder door opener.
I got 2 of them.
Do you have? Okay, is it the most amazing thing? I think everyone should have them now. But, you don't have to have one of those. But
you don't have to have that big track.
That little motor on the side, you have nothing but that little motor. And then
the track, yeah.
Well, yeah, but you don't have the thing in the center and the brackets and the chains and the belts. Anyway, what were you, that's oneclearchoicestores.com.
Colorado Hearth and Home.
Okay.
Now you're going to say, what about them?
What about them?
We save them. You ready for this? Almost $7,000 a year in credit card fees.
SavingonFees.com.
That's just one. That's just one example of how much we save a company.
SavingonFees.com. And they had to do nothing except just say yes.
Yeah, no long-term contract.
Yep.
And guess what else they get?
SavingonFees.com. If you're in business,
free equipment.
Free equipment and free integration to your website. If you're not doing it right now, you're crazy. If you take a credit card for anything, there's no reason not to use this.
And I don't care who you're using. We had a couple people go, well, I use Costco, and they have the lowest
I guarantee
rates.
you that
no,
we'll beat
they
it.
don't.
We'll beat it because you know why? We're not marking up our rates, but a squat. And that's because it's not our main living. And we decided to go to battle because we got so many calls on people getting ripped. By the way, that bankruptcy attorney I gave, Blake, do you know anything about bankruptcy? I mean, basically, you know, you do estate planning, but bankruptcy.
So what I can do for clients is set up asset protection trust ahead of time that if clients do get pushed into bankruptcy, then those assets inside of the protected trust are not considered in the bankruptcy suit. This is pre-planning that needs to go on. It's not something that you can do after
you
the
can't
fact.
do it in anticipation of a bankruptcy unless, of course, it's beyond, 4 years? Or I think state is 4, federal's 2 or something.
It's a case by case basis on how long in advance you need to
Yeah.
set up the trust. Certainly, the longer in advance, the better your protection is going to be. Asset protection is like fine wine. The longer you let it age, the better it will be. But even after a little bit of heat, you can often still do a little bit to protect your assets to put yourself in a better position to negotiate a settlement.
303-713-TALK. Let's talk to Cindy. Cindy, I'm sorry you're having this trouble. Okay, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. I have a 1998 Nissan Frontier that I had to take to a mechanic in the Springs. The instrument panel had gone out. So I took it in, and they still have it, and I took it in August 28th.
Now, they have the whole car for the instrument panel, right?
Yes.
Now, is this a cluster that's all electronic and digital, or does it have needles that move?
Needles that move.
So what year did you say it was?
1998.
Oh, my God. It's a real old one. Okay. So how long have they had it?
Since August 28th.
Well, that sounds unreasonable. Did they say what is going on? If you call them, what do they say is going on?
Yeah, they keep telling me that they send out for the instrument cluster, and when they get it in, they say it's not working. So then they have to send out for it again.
Can't you drive it while they're waiting for one to come in? Hold on, and let's talk. Maybe we can call those guys up. Hold on. I'm Tom Martino. More coming up.
10 minutes.
I don't understand that. What? Why she just doesn't drive it in between? Who gives a shit about an interest?
First of all, I give a shit.
You think this guy also looks like? Not as much.
Oh, man. You know what that guy ended up doing for a living?
What?
Porn.
Did he really?
Yep.
Is that perfect right there?
Screech.
Screech.
Oh, Screech.
What about Screech?
Oh, yeah.
Trying to see if Mike looks like
Blake.
Mike Blake. Oh,
That
Blake,
hair
I'm
is
sorry.
very
I'm
unique.
sorry.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Yeah,
What's
not
that?
only are you insulting him with Screech, you're calling him Harry.
No, Screech,
He was a cool dude.
he
Yeah, Screech, now he's cool.
was a porno guy.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
Who told you?
Google, is Screech in porn? Google him.
No, he's not. There. He's in Wikipedia. It says here he is not
Go ahead.
into porn. Sex tape. In 2006, he directed and released a sex tape, Screeched, Saved by the
What?
So, you gotta, don't make me get a copy.
However, he stated in an interview that he is not actually in the sex tape. Rather, a stunt double had his likeness added onto it.
Hey, do you guys still have that bowling deal going on? I don't know. Let me rephrase that. What bowling deals do you have going on?
You know, metric.
We got bowling going on.
Yeah. You know, the trouble with the metric system, people keep trying to relate it back to
You know
ours.
what's really sad?
Coming
What's
here.
really sad are child and young actors who try to hang on to celebrity. It is sad, sad, sad. I mean, few do.
Name one that's made it.
Oh my God, DiCaprio! For God's sake!
What did he play as a
Look, he was a little kid in What's Eating Howard Grape. He was a fucking genius. He was nominated for an Academy Award at 14.
I don't remember. Does that have the real fat guy?
I think he won.
Yeah, Who's Eating Gilbert Grape? Yeah.
Oh my, he played a little like.
What was it? Did he have a real fat mother?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I remember.
Oh
that was
my
a good
God,
movie.
this guy was on.
You're right. Who else? Okay, so DiCaprio.
Oh man. Okay.
Vinnie Barbarino.
No.
Vinnie Barbarino.
He wasn't a child. He wasn't.
Yeah,
he was
teenager.
a little older. He was a little older
yeah.
than DiCaprio. But also Christian Slater.
He's not really around now.
Oh, the two.
Fuck! He won Best Supporting Actor in Mr. Robot. Right up until this season, he was the best. I mean, he didn't win every year. What else? Henry Winkler is doing well still, but
the guy in Joker.
Cunningham. He did unfucking believable.
Yeah, a guy in Joker. Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, River.
River Phoenix.
Joaquin was a kid. Joaquin
yeah, so was River.
How about the little kid from Different Strokes?
God.
The little miniature kid.
Do you know, not only did he die from his kidney problems, his sister, what did she die from? A drug overdose, right?
I think so.
The day after Howard Stern interviewed her and called her out.
Really?
As what? Called her out as what?
She said she wasn't on fucking drugs, and he goes, bullshit, you're on drugs right now.
Really? And the day after she overdosed?
Some people say that, because of that interview.
And she overdosed the next day?
She OD'd the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was literally the next day. What was her name? Kimberly on the show.
You guys know too many actors and stuff.
Oh,
listen, man, there's not much I don't know. Ask me any question about anything. Go ahead, shoot. Go.
How many
Ask me one of those engineering
How many
questions.
liters in a gallon?
How many liters in a gallon?
Yeah.
Let's see. So if I get a 2 liter of Coke, 3 liters are in a gallon.
Wrong!
What is it?
Well, I think I think there's 1.1 times 4. I think
you mean those liters? I was using it as a generic, like a cup of coffee.
That's the trouble with the metric system.
How many ounces in a cup?
16.
Wrong.
32.
No.
I can tell you.
64?
I can tell you how many grams are in an ounce.
There's only 8. There's only 8.
How many?
16, baby.
No.
12.
28.
There's only 8 ounces.
Damn it! I've been getting ripped off.
Wait a minute. There's only 8 ounces in a cup.
Yes.
That doesn't
What
sound
mechanic?
right.
Try. Why not? Why wouldn't we call?
Okay.
That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound like enough.
I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm not going to argue if you find it, but
Man, what? Don't ever
How many-
argue with engineers.
How many joints are in a gram?
It depends. Is it a fatty?
Is it a blunt?
yeah. What is a blunt?
I'll never forget my buddy when we lived in Oklahoma. Back then everything was dirtweed, just Mexican ditchweed. Have you ever heard of a turkey foot?
No.
So this dude, my buddy's uncle, could roll a turkey foot. So you roll 1 joint, and then you roll 3 more. And you connect the 3 joints to the 1 main joint. So it looks like a turkey foot. And then you light all 3 of the joints.
You wouldn't do that with today's pod.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Even back then you couldn't. I mean, shit.
Bet 'em. Bet 'em.
What exactly is a blunt? Isn't a blunt where you is a blunt where you,
yeah.
Do you remember that?
blunt where you refill a cigarette?
Smoke 3 or 4
What's that?
times.
A blunt is where you refill a cigarette,
Remember
right?
that?
But they sell the things now. They just pack a bunch of.
Now somebody can get
But you're right.
shit-faced on their first toke.
Oh, yeah,
time.
1 hit.
First time ever, yeah.
Or these screwballs that get off the plane and go and buy a candy bar. You're supposed to eat like 1 little chunk
And they're
or whatever.
mile high to begin with.
And they'll eat the whole fucking candy bar.
You know what? I think edibles should be outlawed. I really do.
What should?
Edibles.
Why? Just because of that?
No, it's every
There's no
problem.
consistent dosing.
Every problem that's been in Denver and stuff since it has 100% been edible.
So you're saying every problem?
Every problem with marijuana.
In America.
Yeah.
Not in America.
All of them.
Every
100%.
Did you see Trump's tweet today? Pray for Nancy Pelosi. She's a sick person. She's a very sick person.
Pelosi says that about Trump. I said that about him. He says I pray for Trump I pray for Trump every day.
That's good.
Pelosi said that a few weeks back. I pray for
What was
Trump
his genius one?
I'm a stable. Some would say I am a stable genius.
Gotta love it.
You gotta like him.
You know what I do like about him is if you hit the guy, if you flick him, he comes back with a Mike Tyson fucking right cross.
Yeah.
He just does it.
That's called narcissistic injury.
He does.
You know what they compared him against? Another person from Queens. Who would you say on TV?
The band Queen?
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy?
You ever heard her on Judge?
Yeah.
She just gets
I'm not
on.
sure I ever watched Judge Judy.
I can see that.
She gets on people.
I used to
right?
like
You've
Judge
seen
Walker.
right? And you probably know people. That's how because they're both from Queens.
Oh,
they said that's how they.
Huh. Yeah, I can see that.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino.
Your Troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we are fighting for you. 303-713-TALK is our number, 303-713-8255. We love helping people. Don't forget simplyfloorsinc.com, southwest corner of 52nd and Ward. Somebody asked me because I said the holiday push is on. Somebody called them, and they said, you don't ever give out the phone number. Listen, they'd rather you make your own appointment at simplyfloorsinc.com. If you go there, get the number and call them if you want. Or stop by 52nd and Ward, southwest corner.
Wouldn't that make a great, great present for Christmas to someone? New flooring, hardwood, tile, laminate, anything. It would be wonderful.
Well, like if you're a parent and you're outfitting your kid's place, that might be good. I wouldn't do it for a spouse because...
What do you mean you wouldn't do it for a spouse?
You and I have different agreements on that. Different opinions on that.
Diction, buddy.
Different opinions on that because you've said it before, that you thought it was a great thing to buy your wife a vacuum, and I thought you are so sick.
She loves this vacuum. It's
but
lithium.
Mark,
it's
a vacuum is not a gift. I don't want to get into it.
If there was a diamond bracelet hanging on it, that'd be fun.
No, diamonds are for schmucks.
Anyway, 303-713-8255. Okay, now, what's going on? Let's talk. Whatever you need to talk about, you call and get help. Cindy has a problem with the mechanic. We left off with this. And I'm not even sure what I can say about this. It's just that they have her car since August 28th because they're looking for an instrument cluster. I don't blame them. It's a 98 Nissan. For goodness sakes, those instrument panels can't be plentiful. But I'm asking, why can't you drive with a broken instrument panel until they get the other one in?
Well, I don't know if they have the whole inside of it apart.
But there's no part of it you really need. I mean, what I'm saying is, I shouldn't say that. You want oil lights and stuff. I don't know how much of this cluster is taken out, but I would ask them. I mean, there's nothing I can do to make them find something quicker. I really, you can try with, Stadium Auto Parts and a number of other places. You can try to find salvage. But Cindy, it really is, 98? How old is this? 20-some years old? 21?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't even imagine they can find one.
Yeah. Well, I figured since it was such an old truck, there'd be a lot in the car lots.
On junkyards.
Junkyards, yeah.
No, not after Cash for Clunkers. Man, seriously, after Cash for Clunkers, people were buying things from junkyards to cash them in. I mean, it did a really, really bad thing for auto parts. A really bad thing. Because you were not
repair shops.
You were not allowed to use them for salvage. You couldn't. You had to disable them and have them crushed. That's the problem you're having. Norris has a comment on this one. Norris is with SOS Inspections, a mobile diagnostic service, on our referral list at referrallist.com. Norris, what do you have to say about a 98 instrument panel?
The Nissan instrument clusters were really famous for failed
voltage regulators. They have a little box on the back there that tells everybody that's ever driven a Pathfinder or a Sentra. Or
oh my God, they're all over the place. I just Googled
Yeah,
1998 Nissan instrument cluster for the Frontier. They're all over the place. You can get a refurbished one right now, delivery in 2 days. Go buy your own.
Or you can send that one in and have the voltage regulator replaced and get it back, and then the mileage doesn't change.
Okay.
And what do you care if the mileage changes on a 98? Come on. It's like what is going to devalue it?
Right.
No,
yeah, I only have 98,000 miles on it.
Hey, listen, I'm serious. Go online and Google. I found one for $119. This is a repair service you will be sending, and never mind. They will do it. They will rebuild yours for $119. I'm sorry, but then there are other ones that they'll sell them to you as removed. There is a brand new one actually. Oh, you don't want that one. Okay. Speedometer, cluster, instrument panel for and specifically for the Frontier. So Norris, these must be notorious for going out, right?
Yes, especially back in the 90s, early 2000s.
And you are right about this. There's something to do with a voltage regulator.
Yep.
How do you know that?
I just remember stuff.
Okay. Well, SOS Inspections, thank you, Norris. By the way, Cindy, really, you got to help them out. I don't think it's a big priority for them. That's why you're waiting so long. What's the name of the place? What's the name of the place up there?
Aspen Auto Clinic.
Aspen. Where are they? In the Springs?
Yes, on North Park.
Yeah, we know those guys. We've gotten a lot of complaints about them.
I'd go over to their competition, Honest Accurate.
I would move it. I'd say, look, let's go over to Honest Accurate. Or you call Aspen and say, you know what, Martino just found this in 5 seconds. He found a whole bunch of them online. So okay. I don't know what to tell you other than that. And I would avoid Aspen.
Jesse will find it for you.
The guy's a jerk. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We had dealings with him. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but I did. Okay.
I got the nicest.
Sue me.
The nicest freaking letter right now from a listener named Beth Rimmer.
What did she say?
She's listened to you for years.
Okay.
She's 66. She lost her husband 5 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear.
Well, she needed to downsize. She called Frank Duran.
TheRealEstateMan.com.
Yep.
What happened?
His representatives were great. Frank did the final negotiations. Listen to this. He got the seller to drop the price significantly, even in this hot Denver market. She had Simply Floors do her flooring on her old house and her new house. She had Stellar Painting do the painting and some remodeling work, and she had the Handyman Hub out to do minor work. I mean,
she's a walking, talking billboard for referralist.com.
We need to send her a referral list T-shirt.
Yes. Oh, for sure. Let's do that. Daff, who should we take right now, dear?
If you take line 3, he only has a couple of
Brian,
minutes.
Go ahead, sir. Sorry. Hi, Brian. What's going on?
Hey, Tom. Thanks for taking me.
Yes, sir.
Quickly, I got 2 things. First off, have you had to hire a big tow truck lately?
A what kind of truck?
A big tow truck.
Oh, no. Why?
Because I'm the guy who told you that joke the other day.
Oh, which one?
The ambulance.
Which one was it?
The toe fell out.
Oh, that's right. The big toe. That's right. Yeah.
There you go.
But by the way, that really was a good one. But go ahead. I don't want to tell people because I have to explain the whole damn thing to them. What's going on?
Of course. Hey, on that credit card service you're offering, my wife actually operates off of an iPad, and she has a little attachment that plugs into hers.
Yeah.
It's called Square. Do you guys offer that too?
Yes.
Actually, it'll be way better equipment than that and cheaper rates.
And you don't pay for the equipment. So even if you bought that equipment, you don't want it to go to waste. Merchants First, we do it free. And if she needs to integrate into a website, we can do that too, or a little bit of both. By the way, it's even though the company name is Merchants First, the website is savingonfees.com.
Okay, so you are able to use, or you supply a piece of equipment.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Better equipment than that little piece of trash.
Yeah. Seriously. And there's no long-term contract. And the equipment you don't have to buy. So if it goes bad, we send you another one. It really is almost too good to be true. Here's what happened. When we found out how easy it was to get into this business and not make a lot of money, we thought, why is everyone raking these small businesses over the coals? Brian, I'm not telling you that they're breaking any laws. They're not. They took exactly the services we found, the wholesalers, and they added a crap load, and they do application fees, and they do long-term contracts. We simply made the decision not to make a lot of money. We wanted to do volume and save a lot of people money. Now, there are people, I will tell you, that have criticized us saying, you know what, it's not fair. They're saying, you know, you have a job, you have a career, and you're dabbling in this as a hobby, and therefore you're able to undercut everyone, and it's not fair. What do you say to something like that? Really?
Wah.
No, I mean, they're kind of right. We are. We committed. We're taking risk. But you're right. And I'm doing the same thing in the future with consumer lending. I'm sick and tired. And there's no reason people can't get into a business and make less money.
I want to say something.
And do more volume. And I did the same to Simply Floors, was exactly the same. He got into business. Buddy and Karen, they said, we're going to make less money and we're going to just have a great business. You can still make money. You don't get me wrong. You can still make money. There's no reason to rake consumers over the coals. And guess what? You know who's going to find this out? HVAC companies, plumbers, all of those. Because there is a time when companies are coming out and they're going to be the lowest price. And guess what? Even though I love all of these companies on my referral list, if you can't keep up with today, you're going to be outshopped. You're going to be outshopped.
Real quick side note, if anybody out there is still swiping credit cards, I don't care who you're using, you realize that consumer can simply say, I don't want to pay that bill, and they will have that fee waived. You will get a charge back. You have to take chips now. And I know there's companies out there right now still using old equipment. If that consumer makes any kind of complaint, you have already agreed that you're not even going to put up a fight. Now, they will pull the money back.
Okay, then what about a chip? How is that different?
Well, the chips they can't counterfeit. That's why they moved to chips.
In other words, if someone says...
The liability is just too hard and heavy now when it comes to swiping a card. They can counterfeit them left and right.
SavingonFees.com.
Weekdays 2 to 4.
So it must be the same as doing it over the phone then.
Yeah, basically... If you swipe a card now, if someone swipes your card...
I'm talking just over the phone where you just type it in.
I got a spot coming up, guys. No big deal, but I'll let you know.
It's a little different. But here's what I'm saying. If you swipe your card and then you call...
I was just on the phone this morning with Ideal Home Loans, and that's an example of a guy who went into the business and said, you know what, I'm going to be a direct lender. So he takes a pool of money and he lends it out so he can do his underwriting at Ideal Home Loans. And of course, they either service that loan for his life or they can sell the loan. But the bottom line is this. They can choose the terms and conditions and pass them on to you. So they have made it possible for you to have any term, any length you want. You want a 18-year loan, you want a 23-year loan, you want to get the low rate but not go back to 30, you can do whatever rate you want. They also do credit optimization. They they do it for you. They optimize your credit to get you better pricing. Nothing wrong with it. It's legal, it's ethical, it's fast. That's idealhomeloans.com. And they have the interest rate guarantee, the best guarantee in the business. It's simply this. If you refinance or buy, and rates go down over the next 2 years, even by just 0.75%, guess what? You get refinanced free of charge. 303-867-7000, 867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. I like that one, please.
So I guess what I was asking is how many times, I pay my insurance, on the computer.
That's different.
Why is that?
Well, because they can prove you have a policy, that's why.
Okay.
They can prove you have a policy.
So it's really buying something like
You're
that.
still going to have
an aunt pass
consumer
away.
will still have to
Okay, I'll read this to you on the air.
Right, exactly.
I had an aunt pass away.
In fact, you were in here when the guy said the guy did it in Vegas.
I'm the personal representative for her state.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
My sister and I
$48,000?
split the
Now, granted, are they going to go after
that
him? I'm sure.
And they'll win.
And they'll win because they'll have video of
annuity. I did not include the annuity in the
Mark, I
estate
didn't see those
inventory
pictures,
because
so thanks for adding those to the merchant service.
I found part
okay,
of the
but otherwise you like
and I should have
Well,
given her half.
Good.
What do I do?
I have not heard back
Okay,
from
so don't
Jackie.
tell me.
She's not in the office.
I don't want to. But
With
that's your
master
question.
route.
Okay.
So if
The spots start Wednesday, so.
Okay, so if I get it,
Get what, dear?
something from Master Router while I'm gone tomorrow, I'll forward it to you. If I have cell service out in the middle
Let's
of
get
Kansas.
this guy on.
Did you see line 1?
I'm going to blow
Picked
that
up a hitchhiker. Scary things happened.
Yeah. Daphne, you going to be on
I gave
I-70
a
the whole way?
hitchhiker $100
I-70? Self-service the whole way.
I did.
Just did it.
In the motorhome?
No, I blew by, listen to this, man. I blew by a cop on Santa Fe at over 100 miles an hour. He pulled me over. He was from Douglas County. I was out of Douglas County when he pulled me over. So they came out guns a-blazing, man. They thought it was a stolen car. It was my car, but it was brand new. So they were waiting for Arapahoe to show up to give the tickets. It was a Friday night. This was years ago, like 10 years ago. Yeah. So ultimately, I got nothing. Because the Arapahoe never showed up.
They can't say you were speeding in our county?
No, they couldn't write me a ticket. So the Arapahoe did not show up, and the guys finally cut me loose, okay? So then I went to where I was going, which was in Highlands Ranch or somewhere still. You won't believe this shit, but another cop pulls me over for speeding on Highlands Ranch Boulevard. He decides just to cut me loose. I didn't tell him about the last one, okay? So as I'm coming back, I'm heading back to Castle Rock, this guy's hitchhiking. So I figured, you know what? Count my lucky stars. You know, someone's been looking after me today. I'm going to hook this guy up. So I pick him up, and he's going to Castle Rock. I found out he just got divorced. He's homeless. Whatever story he had. I bring him up to Walmart in Castle Rock. No, I didn't want to give him money for the liquor store. I did not. So I went into Walmart, and I got a Walmart gift card for $100. And when I came back out, I didn't let him stay in my car, of course. When I came back out, he already walked away. I told him to wait, but I saw him over on the corner, and I handed him the card.
I teach my kids this. We see people begging, right? I say, okay, we'll see if they're for real. We walk up to them. What's going on? Well, my family, blah, blah, blah. Exactly like that. We say, meet us at King Soopers or Walmart, wherever we are. It's right. You walk up there. We'll meet you there. We'll buy you can buy anything you want. Okay? Anything. Any food or clothing you want. I do it every time because I don't want my kids thinking I'm cold. And I said, and we've had out of 10, let's say, we've done it for years, but we probably get 2 out of 10.
Yep. You get that many?
Yep. The rest, they just want to get liquor or something. Or the one guy with the gas can, that fan. Hey man, do you
I
have
hate
money
that
for gas?
scam.
My van's
Yeah, there's no van.
I said, come on, man, I'll bring you over. And I'll...
we'll fill it up and drive you over.
I'll do everything. Just show me the van. But
how about the ones that don't bullshit you, though, and they're like, hey, give me a beer?
No, I say no, I won't.
Yeah.
Remember step 13?
I don't think that's clever. You know, hey,
do you remember step 13?
I want beer. Okay, go get one.
You remember step 13?
Yeah.
He had $10 gift certificates to Burger King.
He never gets. They were hardly ever cashed in.
I know my wife would give them to him.
$10. You got a free meal and a night. All you had to do is go there.
Yeah, and be sober though, right?
Yeah. No, not when you got there. You just had to be. You just had to commit to them for that time.
My wife gave him out there, throw him on the ground.
He changed some lives, man. He was a real deal.
He was
a good deal. Bob Cote.
Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Tim, what's going on? Hi, Tim.
Hey, Tom, I've been trying to get a hold of you since April.
Wow.
April 1st.
It's not hard. Oh, wait, you go. He clued me in right there when he said April 1st. Anyway, what?
Well,
I'll bite.
Oh, boy, you think you're smart. Okay, listen, I had my Tahoe, and I went on I-70 going towards Green Mountain, and I picked up a hitchhiker on the road, and he was bleeding from his cheek, and I thought, well, this guy needs help, so I picked him up.
Yeah.
And he had a bag with him. He got in back of the Tahoe, and he started going through the bag and that, and looking at me in the mirror and mumbling to himself. And I looked back at him, and I said, "What do you got in that bag?" And he says, "None of your business." And I thought, what kind of deal is this? What did I get myself into? So I drove a little further, and he's doing the same thing again, and I said, "Look, I got a gun pointing right at you, and passenger seat, if you got a gun in there, it's going to be too bad. Now, what's in that bag? And he said, I told you it was none of your business. So I thought, well, I'll just keep my mouth shut and drive a little further. And I drove a little further, and he's doing it again. And I thought, well, what the hell? What is in the bag that is so interesting? And he said, I told you it was none of your business. Well, I slammed on the brakes. I hit the guardrail. I bent my bumper up on the side. He runs out of the Tahoe, takes off. I thought I'd get out and chase him. I thought, well, what the hell am I doing that for? And I got back in the car, and
yeah,
he left the bag. He left the bag in the car.
Okay, this better be worth it.
It's like a bad movie.
What happened then?
Well, I drove home and took the bag in the house. I showed my wife, and she said, oh, my God, it's unbelievable. So that was about it.
What was in the bag, sir?
None of your business.
Oh, you know what? Now I'm really pissed. Oh, God. I fell right into that one. Doggone it. That was pretty good, actually. But I'm not sure I would make it last that long. Man. Christy. I'm sorry you had to go through that, Christy. You have a real question, right?
Actually, I have two questions.
Okay, good.
First one, a few days ago, I heard you guys talking about if you wanted to put one of your kids on your credit card to better their credit score, that would work.
Absolutely.
You remember talking about that?
Yeah,
So,
but hold on. You should have it issued in their name on your account.
You have to, or else it doesn't do anything.
Right. You don't just let them use it.
Of course, I understand that. So what if if their credit is bad because they've missed a couple of payments, will that in turn make your credit bad?
Well, no, it won't make your credit bad at all.
No. If I added miles onto my credit card,
right.
If for whatever reason he doesn't make the payment and it's late, of course it affects my credit.
No, I don't think she was asking that. I think she was asking if he already has bad credit.
Right, missed prior payments on another card.
No, it doesn't affect you at all.
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Second question.
Well, it could affect her if he does the same thing to her and charges stuff he's not supposed to.
No, they won't be making charges on the card. I just wanted to have a card issued to help them get better credit.
I get it.
So
you have to use that. You have to use that card though. If nothing is swiped on it.
What's better too? You definitely want to do that. But what's better is you also Capital One's got one. A lot of credit unions do. But get one of these prepaid. You usually put $500 down, and the bank holds that as security.
And then it
collateral.
rotates.
Yeah, and then after 1 year, if they made all the payments right, they generally will convert it.
They already have one of those. I just wanted to accelerate their credit if I could. Okay. Second question, when you guys are talking about old cars and, parts not being available, why can't they do that with a 3D printer?
Well, they can actually, but there are costs associated. There are people right now experimenting with 3D printers, metals and plastics, to do parts. And it's not unusual, and it can be done. It's a cost per unit problem right now, more than anything.
Right.
And to program it, once you program it, then you have that you're fine. It's tremendously expensive to initially program it, tremendously. But then you aggregate that over 1,000 units, and all of a sudden it doesn't cost that much. But here's the problem. With something that, let's say, is a 1998, you have to ask yourself, am I going to spend 10 grand to have somebody do a diagram and program it into a CAD or CNC? If I have someone do that, and it's really not CNC, 3D printing is different. But let's just say you spend the money to have it put into a 3D printer. Are we going to get that money back? Are we going to get it back if we only sell 10 parts a year? And the parts would be too tremendously expensive. So no matter what, the 3D printer is cheap per unit, but the initial cost has to make it worth it.
Yeah, I understand. I know when you guys have car day and people call up that they have old cars, you kind of make fun of them because they're old.
Right.
But you know what? If they've taken good care of them and they don't have many miles on them, you couldn't replace it. And a lot of the older cars don't have all of the
I agree.
computerized pieces that are just ridiculous. That the ones that make your car stall and.
By the way, Christy, I do agree with it. When people have old cars they've kept for a long time and they're still running, it's really a good thing. I agree with you totally. I do.
It is because your insurance goes down.
Right. Right.
You know, you know how it's been taken care of rather than buying somebody else's, mistake.
I totally agree. More coming right up.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Ross Kaminsky in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 6:30 KH.
Parts on 3D printers. It took
3D printers get pretty cheap, aren't they?
What is it?
Yeah, but the make something.
Do you have one? I know you used to do it.
I don't have one because the good ones are really expensive. The ones you need are really expensive. The ones that you get that are cheap can't make a mushroom.
Oh, okay. So
What are you going to
Tom,
what are you going to print on when the head goes out?
What is your email address?
T Martino.
So I'm saying, if you go put a mushroom, you know how the mushroom's out.
Oh, right.
What are you going to print on?
74 at
The good ones have
no, I'll tell you.
Other stuff that comes up under it, and we'll meet it there for that level.
Okay.
That filler stock that goes in.
So what does a good one cost? What is a
$6,000
See,
on
that's
up.
not to me. That's not
Yeah,
that expensive.
but the cartridges,
3D printer.
the cartridges are $300-400.
Oh,
The
they're not cartridges.
Yeah, the cartridges.
Plastic.
Yeah, and they just have a roll of damn weed eater string in them. I mean,
That's what it looks like. Okay, guys, the best insulation anywhere. Retro foam, Rocky Mountain retro foam. If you still have conventional insulation in your walls, you're paying too much for energy bills, or you have no insulation, you're crazy, or under-insulated, you can re-insulate. That's what retro means. Re-insulate or insulate when you never did it before, and you can do it from the outside of your home with this state-of-the-art injection foam provided by Rocky Mountain Retro Foam. They'll come to your home and do it in a day. It fills wall cavities, maintains R value in all temperatures. It doesn't break down over time. It's environmentally friendly with no off-gassing. Listen to this. Every crack and every nook and cranny, you will be amazed at how it works. It wraps around your pipes and your wires. You're able to snake through it. You can even, it compresses the old insulation, so it takes its place. It's hassle-free. Listen to this. Makes your home 80% quieter, plus you can save up to 50% on energy bills. Look at this video. FoamYourWalls.com. You'll be sold. FoamYourWalls.com. Or call them 720-676-6333. The most amazing insulation anywhere. 720-676-6333.
When you talk about printers and stuff, I bought the Epson, with the ink.
Oh God, I love that.
You got it too?
Yeah, we've had it for
I
a
have
year.
it too.
Just
I
haven't
have
filled
it too.
it.
I absolutely love it.
Oh,
we have.
But I got it on Costco. It was $60 off. It was probably $80 less than Amazon. Plus, they gave a whole
never
other
has
set.
a bad copy.
And they put a whole other set of ink.
It's been more than a year, and we still haven't put ink in. We still haven't put ink in a year.
Well, I believe it.
God,
so it's really now the cost is just.
I've never had it. I didn't have it that long.
And I've just had mine for you. So I mean, mine's good.
The 3D printer is an inkjet printer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's that?
The 3D printer is really an inkjet printer, but it's liquid plastic coming out.
True. Like in a way, yes.
Yeah, because an inkjet printer actually you can feel there's a height to the ink.
Yeah.
Can you? How does it?
But they have metal ones.
Oh yeah.
Really though, at a point, printing is not as good as CNC.
No.
So I don't understand, what is the advantage of a 3D printer then? Of what?
They can do complex. They could do like a hollow house, because they can have the service material come up inside it.
You're right.
They can do parts you couldn't do. I'll bring you something that you can't machine.
You showed us that you brought that thing in there.
Yeah, you can't machine that.
Well, but it was a mistake though, right?
Wait, a CNC though, can a CNC turn it and hollow it out?
Yeah, but
I've seen them do that.
I'll bring that thing in that you can't CNC machine. The only way it can be made is a 3D printer. It's the only way it can be made.
So does someone have to program the part?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, wait.
That's the
can't
big
they?
thing.
Can't they just take the part and put it on it?
Okay. Now
right.
yes. There are printers. They say that's the advantage is where, like in Star Trek, they see it and make it, but it takes forever, and it's not as accurate. And now the technology. Hold on, they do have it for CNC for crowns. They fucking take a picture of your crown. And that they don't call it CNC, but that's what the CEREC is.
Yeah.
It's a freaking little CNC that makes what is it, porcelain or whatever the tooth is made out of.
New zirconia.
And it takes the goddamn picture and makes a crown. Now,
I bet you that's faster than the guy going and doing it because.
Well, it's totally fast. They do it right there while you wait. But how that works, I don't understand it. Why can't they do that with an auto part?
Right.
They probably could.
I mean, they're making a goddamn tooth.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I imagine they probably have to file it down a little bit.
Yeah, well, they size it because the bottom of it, yes.
Some things are complex,
You're right.
like thread.
They adjust the bike. They even do that when a lab does it too.
I look at little sprinkler parts, little plastic things. Would you buy little plastic parts for like $12?
Yeah, but 3D printers are really slow.
Well, but
when you're only putting
10
2,000.
minutes?
Oh God, no! That little thing I showed you.
Right.
9 hours.
Oh, really?
9 hours to run that little thing.
Okay.
They only put down 2,000.
They're getting fast.
They're getting faster, but they only put 2,000ths of an inch down.
Okay.
And even 1,000ths of more accurate stuff. The box really needs to be heated, so the plastic is just below melting point.
Sure. Otherwise,
the next layer
comes on there. Won't have layers of.
Yeah, but the string just goes into a heated head. It just comes out like an ink, like an ink. They're not really complicated. The printers, but the cartridges are expensive. They're really slow.
You know, say that you got to keep up the time, Stalin, like that. The Epson is going to change printers.
Yeah.
Because HP makes their money not on the printer.
Yeah, on the cartridge. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll change everything.
It will. I mean,
Everyone's got it.
And it's a good printer.
I like it.
What?
Now, granted, you've had yours a year.
I gotta see.
Oh God, a year and a half at least.
So you probably paid a pretty good money for it.
I don't know, God.
No, but you probably saved money. But I'm saying right now, Costco, what is it? I'll let you see what the Costco is. And they send a whole nother set of ink.
Inks, yeah. God, I don't even know where we put the ink.
That would be weird. I'll find out here.
Oh,
Yeah, let me know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
that's a good deal. The
Zombieland, baby.
This one here, it was on.
Oh, I'm gonna love that.
Zombieland, Woody Harrelson, one of the best.
Man, look at the big
Did you
difference
see
in
it?
prices.
The original's called Zombieland.
Oh, okay.
The new one is
So
Zombieland
it's
Double
okay.
Tap.
I don't see Zombieland.
Oh, it's good. It's funny. It's Woody
This one
Harrelson.
here.
It's good action packed.
Hi,
Oh,
Tom
this one
Archino
here.
here,
603.
303-713 Talk. The CBD products that work. I have right here the gummies, and
I also take the other one. They have topicals. They have stuff for horses and dogs, and it's basically very easy. PanaceaLife.com, or the one that I made is HelpMyPainCBD.com. More than just pain, though. It helps with sleep and anxiety. We love this stuff. People are asking me all the time about it because I've been talking about it. It's Panacea Life Sciences. They're out of Golden, a pharmaceutical lab, and it's just cool, man. It's just
peanut butter whiskey.
HelpMyPainCBD.com. Okay, so let's talk. And by the way, the guy that's been on for the last 4 hours talking, and we still have time, Blake Harris, MileHighEstatePlanning.com. He's been doing a great job for us. People had a lot of questions. I have an email. Doggone, where is that email? Okay, the email says, listening to your show, I have a question. Okay, my aunt passed away. I am the personal representative. My sister and I split the estate 50-50. But I was the sole beneficiary of an annuity. So I did not include it in the inventory of the estate. Now my sister is saying that should have been put in the estate and split 50-50 too.
Your sister is incorrect. You can politely tell your sister to take a hike.
Why?
Why? Because money that is left to an individual on a financial account does not go through probate. It does not need to be distributed according to the terms of the will or the trust.
Can you get that word to her? I hope she's still listening. And it's a Mike. I'm sorry, not him. Her. It's a him. Mike, your sister's all wet. I'll try to give you, I will forward this to you, and you can find his email and do that because he might want to hire for other things. Here's the other thing. Paul has a comment on kids on credit cards. Go ahead. Paul.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Tom. I heard just the tail end of that last call, and I don't know how old her son is. So you were talking about children or kids.
She wanted to know if she could put her kid on her credit card to improve credit.
Yeah, but that kid, to get their own card in their name, has to be over 18.
Yeah, we should have mentioned that. We should have mentioned that we're talking about not minors. You're right, because minors can't be held responsible.
Now, my minor, but there's an exception to that. As I found out, my minor child, who's 16, was able to get a credit card in their name with Young Americans Bank and has perfect credit because of it.
Ooh,
now, you know, like anything, we have to sign on to the accounts, but it's in his name and it gets reported to the agencies in his name. He did that when he was 14, and he pays off 100%. He uses his credit card all the time, and it gets reported to the credit agencies in his name. So he already has very good credit. He can't go out still and get another credit card because he's only 16 now. So, but they give him limited credit abilities because his income is still somewhat limited, but his score is still very high.
It makes sense.
And he's getting the practice of managing his own card and the whole bit, and he's doing great with it. In fact, he just bought his own card. He's paying for it 100%. And that had to go on our name, obviously, because he can't sign a contract, but he's making all the payments and insurance payments and everything on it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Minors, of course, can't be held responsible. They can't improve their credit if they're on your account because you're responsible. All right, so here's the thing. Financial instruments left directly to somebody, like a beneficiary on a bank account or a beneficiary on the annuity, does not go through probate.
Correct.
So therefore, when the estate is probated and you're the lone beneficiary on something, they can't demand it.
Correct. It does not go into the probate estate. Only assets that do not have a beneficiary designation or not owned with another joint owner, those will go into the estate.
Hey, we have open lines for the first time today at 303-713-TALK. Totally open. You can get right through. We have plenty of time. 303-713-8255. Daphne, we had a guy in that made the Tin Men for charity. What he did was he would feed the homeless, then take the tin cans, clean them up, and make Tin Men out of them, which are bird feeders. They're kind of cool. And he came into the show. He's a good-hearted man. And could you do me a favor? He wanted us to promote one of the charities he works for.
Yes, the 24th annual Thanksgiving dinner for the homeless and needy.
Okay, so this is a Thanksgiving dinner for the homeless. If you know people in this situation or can help pass the word, what is it?
They need volunteers, finance and foods. They provide the turkey. You can go to theworldforjesus.net. Worldforjesus.net
will tell you how to get involved. They need volunteers and they need food, not turkeys, okay?
Not turkeys, but finances, also money, cash would be great too.
Okay, and we have line, they hung up, I'm sorry. Okay, so Blake, we talked about myths when it comes to estates, estate planning, wills, probate, trusts. One of them was that you can't give away more than $14,000 a year or you're going to be taxed. Really, that anything over $14,000 simply goes against your lifetime exemption, and 99.9999% of people never reach that exemption, which is now $10 million. So you can give away as much as you want, whenever you want, and it's never going to be taxed one way or the other, and the recipient doesn't pay tax, so don't worry about it. Now, any other myths?
Another very common myth is that asset protection planning is only for the super wealthy. This is completely inaccurate. If you take two individuals, one worth $1 million, one worth $100 million, and both are hit with a $5 million lawsuit, the individual with $100 million will be able to pay off that judgment, and it's not going to affect their standard of life, their quality of life, or their standard of living. Whereas if the individual with $1 million gets hit with that multi-million-dollar lawsuit, then they could see a very significant change in their standard of living.
So they need it more.
So yes, it's generally most of my clients who I set up the comprehensive asset protection and estate planning for have just between a couple $100,000 and a couple $1 million in assets. These are the ones who really benefit the most from having an integrated estate plan that has both asset protection and estate planning.
That's very insightful when you think about it. If you have $1 billion or $100 million,
bring on the lawsuits.
Yeah, bring on the lawsuits.
You got the best attorneys.
Yeah, I'll fight them. You're right.
You can do it just out of spite. not paying a judgment. But for the typical
a few $100,000 or a lot of equity in your home, or
you don't want to do
self-employed, you got a business,
exactly.
you want to protect, you don't want to be a target. Okay, really good point. MileHighEstatePlanning.com. Hold on. Jacob, I want to come back to you. Please hold. Okay, Jacob, you want to talk about O'Mara Ford, right? An update?
Right.
And then also you have a comment on something else. Hold on. We'll be back with you.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Envirotech.
Reporting a multi-vehicle accident involving a semi and a fuel spill on southbound I-25 approaching the 128th Avenue Bridge. The left lane is blocked there and jamming things back to the E470 toll road. But that is the only big problem on the highway drive right now, just seeing the usual volume flowing in the usual spots. Your forecast.
Okay, what's your phone number for free initial consultation? Somebody wants to know.
720.
Oh, I have it on there. I'm sorry. 720. Yeah, 720.
924.
Mostly sunny and
6171.
Saturday. It's 77 right
now. Oh, I should have went this over. This is
you're getting a lot of online action.
Yeah, you are.
Great.
This is your banner that I put up there. Everything is right here. I'll usually try to check that with you. So when you talk and stuff, I put that up there. That's all right. That's all right.
No, it's not.
It's not?
No, that's the wrong web address. The word planning's in there as well. Mile High Estate Planning.
Ooh, I better check that.
That better be on our website.
That's right.
I did the fourth CBD, right, Mark? I did that, right? I think so. Okay. You know what? Our show really does, Blake. Our show gives you a false impression of radio advertising. Radio advertising is wonderful. I mean, don't get me wrong, it works.
Oh, you're not radio advertising. You have a following of people you control.
Plus, we're trusted even by people who are not following. They hear from people who hear from people. It's a wild phenomenon. We call it, what do we call it, Mark? The unfair advantage that we have. Because the people listening to my show are listening to the very thing people advertise on my show about. You know what I mean? Where it's not like you're talking about politics or sports.
I'm not advertising. I'm just educating.
Right.
And,
see, and on other programs,
people are much more receptive to
on other programs, people listen to a baseball game, and then you come on, Mile High Estate Planning.
Exactly.
It's like what? Or politics or whatever.
No, you built a good business.
I know, it's a good model. It's a congruency that is worked in. Years ago, I was only adversarial, meaning only find the bad guys, right? What happened was somebody said, well, I know who you hate, but I'm going to build a house. Who should I use? And I'm thinking, I use whatchamacallit. So they use. So I was doing that. Then guess what? I'm getting people pissed off at me. I get called in, and GM, he says, you recommended this guy screwed this person. I went, uh-oh. Then I formalized it. I said, you know what? I told my people, I'm not recommending him. You know, if I use you, you better not tell people I did Martino's house or whatever, unless you signed this standard right here. This is the contract. You have to agree to do anything I say if it's wrong. With the attorney, it's a little different. You sign
so you're going to be gone.
But you guys
Monday
have your own
tomorrow and
arbitration. But Monday. We got a contract with him, a normal contract, right? With arbitration, all that, right? The normal agreement, endorsement, and referral is right. Yeah. So, because they trust me that I'm not going to make some outlandish demand. And here's the only consequence is we part. You know, I mean, if we don't agree on something. But
we did screw up with him, though. Why? We didn't charge him nearly enough.
Here's the deal. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
I bet it's already worked for him.
The worst thing you can have is somebody paying you too much. It's a terrible feeling.
Sure. Yeah. No. It's you want to provide value to your clients.
It's not going to last.
Exactly. And then you're going to walk away not feeling good about it either way.
And then also
never be under the impression as well. If you spend the same amount of money that you do on this station, this
it's not going to go as far
you spend it over on
radio.
some FM station. I mean, it's not even the same.
We know for sure. I mean, it's the unfair advantage. But here's the deal. We just love it. I mean, because we're not only making money doing it, but we're actually helping people. I mean,
oh yeah,
we give them to you and you take care of them. I mean, it's not like you're going, ha, let's screw them. That's why we're really pissed off at some of these home services companies that that's what I said on the air. I said, look, if they can't keep up with pricing, then they're going to go out of business. Because there are pricing models out there right now that are kicking ass. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
Think of Costco.
Hi, Tom Martino here. MileHighEstatePlanning.com is the guy we have in the studio. When he's not here, that's where you find him. And let's talk to Jacob. O'Mara Ford, you called originally. What was the problem? Do you remember what that was, Mark? I don't remember. What was it, Jacob? As soon as you give me a few hints, I'll remember. What is it?
Basically, I got put into a lease at a really high rate.
And what I wanted, I remember. I wanted to know what was the mileage, what was this, what was that, was it realistic, blah blah blah. And I said, but I don't remember saying there was much you could do about it. There was, right?
Right. Yeah, there wasn't much I could do about it, but I ended up going back to them that day or the next day, Friday, whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
you also wanted to know if there was a right to rescind. And okay, so what happened when you went back to them?
Exactly. Well, they ended up actually working with me and keeping me in the same vehicle and lowering my payment by $110.
How did they do that? That's nice of them. How did they do that?
Probably added a year.
No, actually, I asked them about it in a year, and they said they couldn't do that. But what they did is they dropped the car drastically by like $5,000.
Well, that's cool. Very good, man. So in a way, it did pay to listen, although I can't take direct credit. Anyway, what else is going on? You have a comment on the Tin Man.
Yes, the Tin Man. I was there Wednesday, actually, picking up a prize from iHeartRadio, and I saw the little Tin Man in the corner there. And I got to tell you, he does kind of look a little creepy, like he might just come alive at night and just wander the hall, you know?
I think it's cool, though, don't you? I mean, I was pretty impressed.
Cool.
Yeah. And anyway, thanks for mentioning that. And about that charity, give us that website again, Daphne. They wanted to know. Somebody asked me about that charity again.
It is theworldforjesus.net.
Theworldforjesus.net. Now, let's talk about estate planning in these last few minutes. Now, we still have time to get a call in, 303-713-TALK. We talked about the myth about taxing on gifts more than $14,000, okay? We talked about the myth of only the ultra-rich needing asset protection. It's mostly the people who have most to lose. $100,000 in net worth all the way up to a few million. You know, you could have a devastating lawsuit, and you're a target. You're a prime target. You know, if you sue Bill Gates, you know, he can fight you, and he can put you into the ground with fighting and legal teams. So let's talk about other myths. Anything else come to mind where you always have to explain to people, no.
There's also the myth that a will will avoid probate. A will not avoid probate. A will is a ticket to the probate court.
Now, what do you mean? Do people actually think a will does away with probate?
Exactly. People come to me and say, oh, I've created a will so we don't have to pay for the probate costs. And no, you still have to go through probate. I still recommend creating a will even if you have a pretty simple family situation where the default intestacy laws would do the same thing as a will, because I've had a case where after a parent passed away, there was only one beneficiary, it was her only daughter. The daughter went to probate the estate, tried to get her mom's home, and the court stopped the process because another family member said the daughter was not actually the daughter of her mom and was not legally adopted, and it caused a big mess, cost the client tens of thousands of dollars in fees to clean it up. Had the mom just created a simple will naming her only daughter, it would have avoided the entire court battle that she went through.
So, so when it comes to estates and wills, you can't leave someone a debt, can you? You know, people are always afraid if they're a personal representative or they take on the estate, they can be held personally responsible.
No, just stepping in as personal representative, you're not going to take on much personal liability as long as you properly manage the assets. You don't have to pay the debts of the estate personally as the personal representative.
So if there's not enough money to pay, then what?
Well, if there's not enough money, then I'd recommend probably not opening the estate. The exception to that being is if the debts are equal to the amount of assets, but we could negotiate some of the debts based on the fact that we don't have a lot of assets.
Have you ever negotiated debts for estates?
Of course, that's what.
So you negotiate them down, and then they have enough assets left over to make it worth it.
And then they have enough assets to make it worth
it. So free consultations, MileHighEstatePlanning.com. Tracy, what is your question, dear? Tracy. Hello.
Hi. My mom's about 85.
Oh, it's a her. It's a him. See, that's sexist of me. I said, hey, what's going on, dear? And your name is Tracy, and you're a guy. Go ahead, Tracy.
Yeah, my mom's about 85, and she doesn't have long-term health insurance or anything. And we're starting to worry a little bit about her health, that she could end up in a nursing home in the future. And we worry about her home, with if we would have to go to Medicaid or anything.
Does she have a lot of equity?
She has about it's paid for. It's about $250,000 condo.
Well, listen, you would have to surrender every bit of equity if you went to Medicare or to social services, of any kind. I don't know about Medicare, but you do for socials. Yeah, you do, I think, for Medicare. How does that work?
So in order for her to get on Medicaid, she'd need to have around only $2,000 of assets remaining in her name. What she can do, if you can wait before she goes into the nursing home a few years, is she can put her assets into a protective trust. And then when she enters nursing home care, if she can wait a 5-year period, then the asset inside those trusts will be able to be passed to you, the other beneficiaries, the other family members that she directs. And then if need be, she needs to get any support from that, she can always request a beneficiary of that trust to make a distribution back to her for her benefit. So it's a very common issue. Lots of estates are wiped out because of Medicaid. Nursing
homes.
Nursing home cost is very expensive.
Or long-term care of any kind.
$5,000 to $10,000 per month is probably what you're looking for what you're going to find in the Denver area. Planning ahead is the trick to keeping the family home.
Can she also just deed the house to me right now as her son?
Now, listen, okay, I just want to say something about that first. You lose all tax benefits if you do that, okay? And also, it's not protected. Keep going.
And I don't recommend my clients do that because I don't want my clients to lose control over their assets. If you and your mom are close enough, and maybe that might be something you can do. But generally, I want my clients to be able to control their property as long as possible.
And his client would be your mom.
Yes, exactly. We'd act in the best interest of your mom. We'd consider the overall estate plan and goals that she does want to pass property to the next generation. But I want to be able to tell my clients that we're going to set this up. If ever need be, if you ever need this for your support, this trust is something that you can access, or that can be there for your benefit.
Okay, great. All right, thank you very much.
Does she have any other assets, by the way, other than the home?
Not really.
Do you have any siblings?
I have a brother.
Okay. If you two can work together, I think you'd be a great candidate for setting up a Medicaid protective trust.
Okay, great.
All right, and a lot of people do it, and really, if you think about it, that money is evaporated so quickly in an estate.